Hello guys, welcome to the Shadow Manhwa Teller channel. At the start of the story, our main character says, every kid dreams of belonging to a gangster family. And if I'm being honest, I'm the heir of the most dangerous gangster family in the entire country. You must be thinking, what could be cooler than this life? But to be honest, my life isn't at all the way you imagine. One unlucky day, some villager mocked my father saying, no matter how much money or power you have, the entire Roger family is uneducated. None of you have ever even stepped properly into a school. Because of that insult, my dad made a vow that I would be the very first person from the Roger family to graduate. The vow was made, but fulfilling it was my responsibility. I started studying 12 hours a day. On one hand, I had a friend who studied only 2 hours and scored top marks. And on the other hand, there was me, studying 12 hours, then watching motivational videos, just so I could push myself for another 4 hours. And what do I get in the end? Only 4 marks. Honestly, I also began to believe that maybe I wasn't meant for studies. But it's rightly said, when no one is there for you, God is. That's when I got the ChatGPT system. With it, I could only lose marks if I misread a question. Otherwise, no one could reduce even a single mark of mine. I'm Max D. Roger, the one who, just a few days ago, was struggling to graduate. Now, top university principals are lining up, requesting me to join them. But as they say, to gain something, you must lose something. And I lost my dignity. I'm not a creep, my system is. It forces me to do tasks, like touching girls, in exchange for points. And the dangerous part is, the tasks keep getting more extreme day by day. So, how far will Max D. Roger go just to score good marks? And despite being the heir of a gangster family, will he stop himself from becoming a gangster? Or will he turn into the genius gangster of the Roger family? That's what we'll find out in the story ahead. Now let's begin the story. The first scene shows a classroom where no one is paying attention to studies. A girl named Kian was bullying a boy with glasses. Watching this, our main character Max thinks, what are these people doing? They should be focusing on studies, not nonsense like this. Kian tells the boy, you're the biggest rat in our class. Look, I even brought a cute little female rat for you. Now kiss her quickly, or she won't accept you. The boy with glasses runs out saying he's going to call the teacher. Max, meanwhile, thinks to himself, every day I come to school and have to watch this nonsense. If my grades were better, I'd have been placed in a good class with kids like me. Soon, the boy returns with a teacher. The teacher scolds Kian and says, you're not sitting with Jean anymore. From now on, you'll sit with Max. Shocked, Max thinks, why is the teacher making this troublemaker sit with me? Before entering school, Max had made his own rules. First, never get into fights. Second, never stay silent when witnessing something wrong. Third, and most importantly, always respect girls. But now, with this bully sitting next to him, following his third rule would be very difficult. Still, if he wanted to restore his fallen family's honor, he had to follow his principles. Then the teacher takes Kian to the principal's office, scolding her for misbehaving too much. When she returns, she looks furious. Max worries, she looks really angry. What if she bullies me now? Should I defend myself, or let her go since she's a girl? At that moment, Max's best friend Finn comes over and says, wow, Max, you are so lucky. A really cute girl is sitting beside you now. Your school life is about to get way better. Max replies, I'm not like you, my friend. I don't fool around with girls. And remember, Max D. Roger has a principle, never bother girls without reason. Then Zia joins in, saying, Finn, Max is right. Sure, his grades aren't the best, but everyone in school knows he's the most disciplined. Not like you, who keeps staring at girls and thinking about fights. Finn protests, hey, I'm not as bad as you two make me out to be. Later, Finn drags Max to the toilet and says, come on, Zia's not here now. Tell me the truth, you're actually happy about sitting next to Kian, right? Max answers seriously, Finn, you know everything about my family. Still, you keep teasing me. Nobody in my Roger family has ever graduated. All my uncles were once feared gangsters. And my ancestors, their stories are even more terrifying. Some of them have even been legendary gangsters and pirate kings. But my father gave up that life. He wanted to live as a normal man. Yet even in his office, someone mocked him, saying, no Roger has ever graduated. That insult became my burden. I must graduate, no matter what, to restore my father's honor. That's why I strictly follow my rules. And even though I'm not good at studying, I spend all day and night trying. Laughing, Finn says, your family is really strange. Normal people like us live ordinary lives but dream of belonging to powerful families, like pirate kings or mafia clans. And then there's you and your dad, who actually belong to a gangster family but want nothing more than a normal life. My friend, now that the bully sits beside you, let's see how you follow your precious rules. Max goes back to class. Kian, irritated, snaps at him, "Stop scratching your head, it's annoying me." Max thinks, "This girl is really awful, but I'm a good person, that's why I won't talk back to her." Then Kian draws a line on the desk and says, "Don't cross this line." Max sighs internally, sitting next to her is honestly unbearable. A little later, some bullies from another class enter. They confront Jean, the boy with glasses, and say, "So you're the coward who dared to complain about Kian to the teacher? You actually had the guts to go against her? You're not escaping today." Just then, Max steps forward and says, "I'm Kian's deskmate. Tell me, what's your problem with me?" The bullies prepare to attack Max, but before they can, Zia steps between them and says, "Max is the best student in our class. He would never hurt a girl. And besides, you can't fight inside our classroom." Shouting, one bully responds, "I don't want to hit a girl. Otherwise, you wouldn't still be standing here. Step aside, or I won't hesitate to hit you too." Max gently moves Zia aside and says, "My second rule is, never stay silent when something wrong is happening. And my third rule is, respecting girls always comes first. You've just broken both of them. That means it's time to break you." The bully sneers, trying to play the hero. "Ha, don't you know Kian is my girlfriend? Anyone who bullies her, I won't let them go. Good thing you moved that girl out of the way, or one punch from me would have swollen her face." Before he can finish, Max charges forward and floors the bully with a single kick. The bully's friend gasps, "Brother Mao is one of the top fighters. How did he lose to this guy?" Mao himself snarls, "You bastard. Do you even know who I am?" Max doesn't back down. He slaps Mao across the face repeatedly and says, "I don't care who you are. I don't care who your father is, or what your family name is. What matters is that you had the guts to insult my friend. I try so hard to control my anger and follow my first rule, never fight. But when I'm already frustrated with studies, and then idiots like you start running your mouth, I get anger issues. And when I get angry, all rules go to hell." Max then smashes a chair over Mao's head. One of Mao's underlings attacks Max from behind, but Max drops him with a single kick as well. Max shouts, "Who else wants a beating?" The rest of Mao's gang panics and flees. As they run, they whisper, "We heard that someone in our school belongs to the Roger family, but after seeing him crush our boss, it's clear, he really is the heir of those gangsters." Max tells Mao, "Now get out of this class backwards. And don't forget to pay compensation for the chair I broke on your head." Mao stumbles away. Zia asks in shock, "Max, how are you so good at fighting? You know fighting is a terrible thing, right?" Max replies, "Yeah, I know. That's why I created my rules in the first place." Zia presses, "Rules? What kind of rules?" Before Max can answer, Finn quickly drags him outside. He says, "I stopped you from telling Zia about your rules. By the way, did you know a bird has built a nest in the school backyard? They say it's a rare kind of bird." While looking, Max notices something unusual inside the nest, a fountain pen. He carefully takes it and brings it back to class. Max examines it, thinking, "This looks expensive. The bird must have mistaken it for food and carried it here. Maybe if I use this pen, my handwriting will improve, and the teacher might give me extra marks." But when he tries to write with it, the pen pierces into his hand. Startled, Max looks around, but everyone's reactions are completely normal, as if they didn't see anything. He wonders, did no one notice that pen sink into my hand? Maybe I just imagined it. Zia asks, "Are you okay, Max? You look pale." Max forces a smile, "I'm fine. Nothing happened." Inside, he thinks, maybe it really was just an illusion. At that moment, the English teacher enters and says, "Today will be my last English class with you all. From now on, a new female teacher will take over. Since your university entrance exams are approaching, we must prepare properly. To check your current level, I'll be giving you a test today." Handing out papers, Zia again looks at Max and says, "Max, are you really okay? Your face looks so pale." Max insists, "I'm fine, really." But in his mind, he's still troubled. Was that pen truly an illusion? He looks at the English test, but none of it makes sense to him. He thinks, it's always the same. No matter how hard I try, I never score more than 4 marks in English. And now again, I can't understand a single question. Just then, his system appears before him. The system speaks, "Our host's name is Max D. Roger, and currently he has 36 energy points." Max wonders, what is this voice? Is it because of that fountain pen that I'm suddenly able to see and hear these things? Just then, the teacher comes over and asks, "Max, are you okay? If you're not feeling well, you don't have to take the test." Max replies, "No teacher, I'm fine." The system speaks again, "Host, would you like to use our chat GPT function? Activating it will cost you 3 energy points." Max was shocked. "Chat GPT? What's going on?" "Well, I'll try it once. Anyway, I have 36 points." Suddenly, the chat GPT function activates. The system tells him, the answer to the first question is C. Surprised, Max thinks, it's really working just like ChatGPT. It's actually giving me answers to the questions. Meanwhile, the teacher watches Max filling in answers and thinks, he just marked that question correctly. Looks like he was really focusing on it. Honestly, I've never seen Max this hardworking before. His results have never been good, but he's never lacked effort. The problem is, studying isn't in his genes. Gangsters and academics are worlds apart. But maybe now, his hard work is finally paying off. Before leaving, the teacher says, do your test properly, Max. Max thinks, I finished all the multiple choice questions in just a short time. Now I just need to write the long answers. The system then starts giving him answers for every long question as well. Max was amazed. It's not just giving me one answer, it's showing me multiple ways to answer the same question. For the first time in my life, I feel what it's like to actually know everything in an exam. The teacher announces, time's up. Everyone, hand in your papers. Later, when checking papers in the staff room, the teacher was shocked. There's a huge improvement in Max's results. Meanwhile, in the classroom, the students were discussing their upcoming class trip. Since after the entrance exam, we'll all be going to different universities, this will be our last trip together. So we need to pick a really special place. Everyone starts suggesting locations. Kian interrupts, you guys are so childish. At our age, who still thinks about trips? Finn teases her, no, Kian, you're just too busy with your packed schedule. Dating one guy today, another tomorrow. We're not like you. Angrily, Kian shouts, how dare you talk nonsense about me? Finn said, I don't know how you trick boys, but I do know you're cheating on my brother. Honestly, having you in our class makes it awkward for all the guys. Hearing this, the whole class bursts out laughing. Kian and Finn's argument becomes heated. Max intervenes, Finn, stop showing off here, or else I'll beat you up. Finn smirks, fine, since you said so, I'll let it go. Otherwise, I'd never have spared her. Zia quietly thinks, Max looks really different today. Normally, he's just handsome, but right now, he looks especially charming. Max looks up and their eyes meet. Embarrassed, Zia blushes and thinks, I was staring at him, what must he be thinking about me? Kian, watching all this, gets irritated. Ugh, these two lovebirds are driving me crazy. I've heard Max is always disciplined. Today, I'll break his discipline myself. Saying this, she touches Max's hand. Max thinks, this morning she was scolding me not to cross the desk line, and now she's the one touching me? Kian smirks, that was just my first move. Now that I know this bothers you, my next move will be so extreme that you won't be able to handle it. She unzips her jacket slightly and deliberately drops her pen on the floor, bending down to pick it up. Max looks at her and suddenly gets a nosebleed. He thinks, what on earth is this girl trying to do? Kian grins, the fish has taken the bait. She then places her hand over Max and says, the pen fell pretty far down. Max quickly removes her hand and says, take your hand off me. Now, the system speaks, host, your target is not pure. Therefore, you will not receive any energy points. Max was confused, what? I won't get energy. What exactly does the system mean? Kian smirks again, so, where are you planning to let go of my hand? Max thinks, from using the system, I've learned that I need energy points to activate ChatGPT, and maybe, I can only earn those points by touching girls. But when I touched Kian, I didn't get any energy. Looks like I'll have to test this with another girl. He reasons further, if that's true, then getting into university with the system will be easy. But the price is, I have to touch girls. Should I try just once more? What harm is there in a single touch? But then he grabs his head and scolds himself. What am I even thinking? I always hated guys who touch girls without reason, and now I'm acting just like those scumbags. I despise this kind of behavior. Kian notices his expression and says, what happened? From your face, it looks like you've seen through something. Max replies firmly, mind your own business. My focus is only on studies. Kian laughs, this is the first time I've seen a boy blush while looking at books. Meanwhile, Finn has been watching everything happening between Max and Kian. After class, he comes to Max and asks, Max, what were you doing with Kian? Before Max can answer, Zia turns around and asks, was Max really doing something? Max quickly replies, he's talking nonsense. Her pen fell, and I was just picking it up for her. That's all. He's just spouting rubbish again, Zia says. Finn, when will you finally change? You're always doing useless things just to cause trouble for our class. Finn replies, well, technically speaking, he comes from a gangster family. So really, what worse habits could I even teach him? Zia defends Max. Even if his family is full of gangsters, he himself is a really good person. Even though Kian sits with Max, your eyes are always on Kian. I wish she sat next to you instead, so she could bully you instead of him. Finn smirks and says, you know, Zia, People say that girls don't speak up for boys unless they actually like them. Don't tell me my dear friend Max has started to win your heart? Hearing this, Zia starts blushing. Max, annoyed, thinks to himself, what nonsense is this idiot talking about now? Embarrassed, Zia quickly runs out of the classroom. Finn laughs. Max, your life is about to get really interesting. You can try to act innocent all you want, but I clearly saw Kian trying to pull some tricks with you earlier. And now, I can see perfectly well that the top beauty of our class, Zia, also likes you. Unless, could it be that your gangster family practices black magic, and you're using it to trap her? Max angrily snaps. Keep your dirty thoughts to yourself. My mind isn't as filthy as yours. Then Max thinks to himself, up until now, I've never once touched Zia. If I touch her, will I also gain energy points? Just then, Zia comes back into the classroom. To tease her, Finn loudly says, oh look, my sister-in-law is back. Zia gets even more furious than before. Max sighs. This fool is just making things harder for me. Now Zia won't even want to talk to me. And if she won't talk to me, how am I supposed to touch her? At that moment, the class vice president approaches Zia and asks, Zia, do you know how to solve this question? Max thinks, this is my chance. Alright, ChatGPT system, show me what you've got. The system takes 2 energy points and replies, the answer is C. Zia looks at the question and says, in my opinion, the answer should be A. But Max interrupts, no, the answer is C. The vice president, Shinli, scoffs, Max, who asked for your opinion? Have you ever scored more than 4 extra marks on your math papers? This is a problem even I couldn't solve, so what makes you think you can solve it? Zia defends Max. Shinli, you shouldn't make fun of someone who's at least working hard. At the very least, he's trying. Then she turns to Max and says kindly, please don't take Shinli's words to heart. Max thinks, due to all these matters, Zia has forgotten what Finn had said. He then hands her a paper. Zia asks, Max, what is this? Max replies, just read it once. Zia thinks, why would Max give me his paper? Could it be some kind of love letter? Curious, she takes it. The system then announces, Zia has a perfect body with an A+ quality rating. A single touch gives you 5 energy points. Max was stunned. Just a single, tiny touch gave me 5 points. And the system says Zia's body is A+ quality. Looks like I need to experiment with more girls to fully understand how this system really works. If I use it properly, I could even make it into a top 3 university. Meanwhile, Kian observes him, thinking, ever since he touched me, he looks much happier. I knew it, he only pretends to act like a good boy. In reality, he's secretly thrilled. Grabbing Max's face, she says, your thoughts are written all over your face. Max thinks, what's her problem? Why does she keep touching me again and again? The system keeps telling me she has no energy points to give. Her touch is completely useless to me. She and Zia are both girls, but when Zia lightly touches me, I gain points. When Kian touches me, I get nothing. Kian smirks. On one hand, you tell me to stay away from you, but on the other hand, you're holding my hand so tightly. Max remembers, the first time the system gave me points, it mentioned purity. Maybe I only gain energy from girls whose bodies are still pure. If a girl like Kian has been with countless guys, then I won't gain anything from her. That means it's best to keep her far away. Max firmly says, look, I respect girls, but that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want with me. Next time, don't even bring your hand close to me. Kian laughs. I've seen plenty of tough guys who act strong at first, but deep down they're really shy. And I know you're no different. Meanwhile, Zia was thinking, maybe Max gave me a love letter. But when she opens the paper, inside is the step-by-step solution to the question Shinli had asked her. Zia asks Max, did you really solve this question by yourself? Max replies, yes. Before, none of you trusted me. That's why I solved it properly, step by step, to show you how the answer is C. Zia, surprised, asks, but how did you manage to do it? Max smiles and says, when the class president takes such good care of me, of course I have to improve. You could even say that a big part of my growth is thanks to you. Hearing his words, Zia can't help but smile. No, it's not luck. It's your hard work. You've done well. Max replied, honestly, just sitting next to you makes my brain work faster. I don't know why, but everything around me starts to feel so beautiful. Blushing, Zia said, lately your jokes aren't cute at all. It feels like you're being influenced by Finn. Meanwhile, Kian thought to herself, I'm definitely going to separate these two lovebirds, she said. Max, your dream is to join the university, right? And Zia always tells you that you can do it. But honestly, a good friend isn't the one who gives you false hope. You'll never be able to join the university. Zia is just lying to you. Zia quickly responded, Kian, don't talk nonsense. Max is working really hard, and I'm sure he'll do well. Max thought, the atmosphere was so good, but this lizard ruined everything. Standing up, Max said, Kian, your dad isn't paying my school fees, is he? She snapped. Why would my dad pay your school fees? Max replied, exactly. Then why are you so bothered about my studies and my scores? Just mind your own business, Kian said. Say whatever you want, but the English test results are about to come out. We'll see then if you're capable enough to join the university. Half the time you didn't even focus, and you finished the whole paper in just 20 minutes. I don't think you'll even beat your previous best score of 4 marks. Max confidently said. I guarantee I'll score not 4, but over 145 marks this time. And since you insulted Zia, if I really score 145 plus, you'll have to apologize to her in front of the whole class. Kian smirked. Fine, I agree. Because neither will you score 145, nor will I ever have to apologize. You getting 145 marks is as impossible as me becoming a billionaire overnight. But tell me, if you don't score 145 plus, what will you do? Max replied, whatever you say, I'll do it. Kian said, boys rarely get down on their knees. So, if you fail, you'll kneel in front of the whole class and say that Kian is the most beautiful girl here. Max agreed. Alright, I'm ready, Zia whispered to Max. Don't take such silly bets. But Max assured her, don't worry, nothing will go wrong. When Max held Zia's hand, his system notified him, you gained 3 energy points. Max thought, last time I got 5 points from the same touch. So it seems the points aren't always the same. Just then, Shinli said, class is about to start. Everyone take your seats. And Max, you have nothing better to do all day. Your own scores are terrible, and now you're disturbing the whole class so that others perform badly too? Max muttered, rat, my mind isn't in the mood. Get lost before I beat you up. He thought, I really need to earn more energy points. This ChatGPT system I have feels incredible, like it has many hidden features. But with so few points, I can't unlock any of them. After class, Max thought, since morning, all I've been thinking about is energy points. I can't even concentrate on studying anymore. Just then, a boy came and said, the English teacher has called you. Zia worried. Did they find out about our bet? Max shook his head. No way. They must have called me about the test results. When Max entered the teacher's office, he saw a very pretty girl. He thought, does such a beautiful girl really study in our school? I've never seen her before. And her figure, wow. The girl asked, who are you here to see? Max replied, I'm Max D. Roger. The English teacher called me. Just then, the teacher said, my name is Tianjia. The English teacher asked me to be here. Tianjia thought, this boy, who never scored more than 4 marks in English, suddenly scored 148. As the new English teacher, I need to confirm whether this score is real or if he cheated. Max looked at her and said, Tianjia, you're so beautiful. I don't even know which class you're from. I've never seen you before in school. Tianjia replied, you'll soon know who I am and why you haven't seen me until now. Anyway, you were called here to get your test results. Seeing his 148 marks, Max was overjoyed. But Tianjia said, you scored these marks randomly. Until now, you never performed this well in any test. That's why the English teacher prepared a recheck. Can you solve this paper right in front of me? Max smiled. I'd be very happy to. He activated his ChatGPT system and began solving quickly. Watching his speed, Tianjia was shocked and leaned in close to him by accident. When Max looked up, their faces were so near that they accidentally kissed. Stepping back, Max said, I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. Tianjia replied, it's fine, it happened by mistake. Anyway, I've already checked your paper. These marks are genuinely yours. You can leave now, but don't tell anyone about what just happened. When Max returned to class, he seemed troubled, and Shinli thought, he must have been scolded badly. Serves him right, he spends all day flirting with Zia. Good that the teacher scolded him, Zia asked. Max, why did the teacher call you to the office? Did they find out about our bet? Max replied, no, the teacher wasn't even in the office. He thought to himself, she already seems upset. I can't tell her what really happened. Zia pressed further, if it wasn't anything important, then why did it take you so long? Max said, I scored really well on the test this time. The teacher couldn't believe it, so they gave me another paper to solve. That's why it took time, Zia asked. How many marks did you even get that the teacher didn't believe you? Max replied, you'll find out in tomorrow's English class. The next day in English period, Tianjia appeared. She introduced herself, I'm your new English teacher. You can call me Miss Tian. Until your university entrance exams are over, I'll be handling your classes. All the boys whispered excitedly, this teacher is so pretty. Max, shocked, thought, the girl I kissed yesterday, she's our teacher? Wait, no, maybe their names are just similar. The girl I kissed was definitely a student. She can't be the same person. Their faces might look alike, but they can't be the same. Miss Tian continued, yesterday, you had a test. I have the results with me. I'll announce the names. Come collect your papers. After getting her paper, Kian smirked. If anyone has a mat, give it to Max. He'll be so embarrassed kneeling on the floor. Miss Tian said firmly, quiet. Now, I'll announce who topped the class. This time, the top scorer in English is Max, with 150 out of 148 marks. Everyone was stunned. Kian shouted, Miss, you must have checked it wrong. His marks can only be 1, or maybe 4. Max could never score 148. Miss Tian replied, you're right, Max had never scored this high before. That's why even we doubted it. But after verifying with a second, even harder test, Max scored 147. He only lost marks because he misread one question. Otherwise, it would have been full marks. Kian, still in shock, muttered, Max got 148. Does this mean I'm going to become a billionaire overnight? Miss Tian handed Max his paper. Max looked at her face and thought, why is she making that expression at me? Could she be the same girl I kissed yesterday? Just then, Finn came up to Max and said, I've seen many traitors before, but never one like you. If you were cheating in the test, you could have told me. You scored 148. Maybe if I copied, I could have gotten 102. But you chose to betray our friendship just to top the test. Max said firmly, I didn't cheat. These marks are from my hard work. Zia chimed in, at least now Max doesn't have to kneel. Finn teased, Kian, are you going to apologize? Or should I help you kneel? Don't you dare say you won't keep your promise. If you back out, the whole school will know in half an hour that Kian is a coward. You can't even imagine the stories I'll spread about you. Kian, nervous, thought, this jerk will definitely humiliate me. Zia said softly, we're all classmates. Why do we need apologies like this? Max, please cancel it. Max agreed, all right, Zia. As you say. As everyone left, they muttered, boring. We really wanted to see Kian apologize. Meanwhile, Shinli was with his friend. His friend asked, why are you in such a bad mood today? Shinli replied, there's this guy who spends all day chasing after Zia. His friend exclaimed, Zia? She's your childhood crush, right? Who the hell dares to go after my brother's crush? Just tell me his name once, I'll ruin his face. Shinli said, it's no use. That guy is too strong. Even Mao and his group tried before, and they all got beaten up. His friend smirked, you can't compare me to Mao. I can beat 8 guys like him by myself. I want to see who dares trouble my friend in this school. Shinli replied, if you're so eager, then go teach that jerk Max a lesson. Meanwhile, Max was quietly studying in class. Suddenly, Shinli's friend barged in and shouted, who's that jerk Max D. Roger? Closing his book calmly, Max said, I'm Max D. Roger. I was just sitting here studying peacefully, until an idiot like you came to annoy me. Now, tell me quickly, what do you want from me? Just then, Zia says, Wang, what are you doing in our class? Wang replies, I came here to protect you. You don't know, Max has very bad intentions toward you. And the biggest thing is, you're my brother's crush. No one in this school can look at you except my brother. Blushing, Zia says, which brother are you talking about? I don't know any brother of yours, and please don't spread such baseless rumors about me. Wang responds, someone once said it right, girls never like good guys. Do you know how much my brother has done for you? Yet, you refuse to acknowledge him. My friend Shinli is madly in love with you. He even tattooed your name across his chest. Our entire friend circle calls you sister-in-law, and here you are betraying him. Max thinks, was Wang here to help Shinli or just humiliate him? If there's a worst way to confess someone's feelings, Wang just used it. I doubt Zia will even talk to Shinli after this. Seeing Max laugh, Wang gets angry and attacks him. But Max easily dodges his move and floors him with a single powerful punch to the face. Wang shouts, how dare you hit me in the face? Max replies, first, shut your mouth. Your breath stinks. Saying this, Max continues beating him. Wang yells, you only managed to knock me down, that's why you're acting smart. If this was a fair fight, you'd never defeat me. Max stands up and says, fine, I won't give you any excuses. Use your best technique, whatever you've got. Wang charges again, but Max kicks him down hard, causing a serious injury to his chin. Wang collapses unconscious on the spot. Outside the classroom, Shinli arrives and asks, why is there such a big crowd here? A student tells him, Shinli, your buddy Wang went into the classroom and picked a fight with Max. Shinli mutters, that idiot. I warned him not to do anything. If Max gets injured, I'll be the one who gets scolded. But when he looks inside, he sees Max calmly sitting and studying, while Wang lies knocked out on the ground. Shocked, Shinli says, Max, you're too cruel. How could you beat up my friend like this? Max replies, oh, so because he's unconscious, I'm cruel? If someone barges into my class to attack me, do you expect me to just sit quietly? Grabbing Shinli's collar, Max says, listen, I respect everyone in my class. I'm not like you, pretending to be nice on the outside while harboring disgusting thoughts inside. This is your first and last warning. If your friends, your family, or anyone from your side tries to mess with me again, I'll make their condition even worse than this. At least one will still manage to stand on his feet again, but the next one will be carried away on 4 shoulders, not 2 legs. Hearing Max's words, Shinli becomes terrified. Outside, Finn says excitedly, Max, that line of yours was amazing. Max replies, I don't want to fight, but because of people like them, I'm forced to. Finn says, if I had even 10% of your fighting skills, no one in this entire school would dare speak against me. Max answers, fighting and martial arts are things I don't like to talk about. My grandpa never let me practice martial arts after I turned 10. My family always pushed me to focus on studies so I could protect our family in other ways. That's why I left martial arts behind long ago, and I don't want it to return to my life. Later, Max arrives home. A girl says, Max, are your classes over? Smiling happily, Max replies, Sarah, when did you come back? Sarah explains, I finished college, and now I'm interning at a TV station. That's why I'll be staying here from now on. Max's dad says, Sarah, you're a very smart girl. As your neighbor, I've watched you grow up since childhood. You always scored well, and now you're even supporting your fans. I believe you'll become a successful reporter in the future. Sarah smiles and says, thank you so much for the compliment, uncle. Then she turns to Max and adds, your entrance exams are very close now, right? If there's anything you don't understand, you can come to me. Since I'll mostly be at home after my internship, I'll have plenty of time. Max replies, thank you. Then he tells everyone, you all keep talking here, I'll go finish my work. Once in his room, Max starts searching about his ChatGPT system and points. Even after half an hour, he finds nothing. Suddenly, the system informs him that he can also earn points through online chatting, and he has the power to hack any website completely, making communication much easier. Excited, Max says, this way, I'll easily be able to earn tons of energy points. The next day at school, Max notices that Shinli hasn't shown up. Meanwhile, Teacher Tian is discussing Max's scores with Teacher Zheng. Teacher Zheng says, there could be many reasons for a sudden increase in a student's marks. It's not such a big deal. Teacher Tian replies, no, it's not that simple. In the last test, I intentionally included 20% of questions that even our best students couldn't solve. And as expected, no one answered them, except Max. That's what concerns me. Being good at studies is one thing, but suddenly turning into a genius is something else entirely. Just then, another teacher says, if a student's scores are improving, what's the problem with that? Look, Max used to be the weakest student in your class. If even Max is performing well now, then I can say with confidence that your class will go down in history as one of the greatest. That's actually something to celebrate, isn't it? Don't overthink it. Later, when Teacher Jin comes to class, he announces, today I'm giving you all a surprise test. Jean complains, teacher, you've already taught another class, and solving this paper in just 20 minutes is impossible. Teacher Jing replies, if you can't solve it in 20 minutes, then you won't solve it in 40 minutes either. I want to test how fast your minds can think under pressure. As Max picks up his paper, he thinks, whether it's 20 minutes or 2 minutes, it's enough for me to get full marks. I just need to avoid the mistake I made last time, misreading the question. Max begins his test. 20 minutes later, Teacher Jing says, all right, everyone, submit your papers. After submitting, the students complain that their marks will be terrible. Meanwhile, Teacher Jing searches for the Max's paper. Suddenly, he finds Max's paper. He says, all of you are complaining about time, yet there's one student who managed to solve the entire paper. Shocked, the students exclaim, sir, are you joking? Even if someone wrote random answers, they couldn't finish this paper in 20 minutes. The only way to do it is if you already had the answers in front of you. Teacher Jing replies, there you go again with your excuses. I've checked the copies, and now I'll return your papers. After that, I'll explain the correct answers so you can see where you went wrong. As everyone compares their results, Max says, where's my paper, teacher? Zia answers, it must have been misplaced in another row. You'll get it soon. Just then, Teacher Jing announces, everyone got their papers, right? Now I'll go over the answers. Zia says, teacher, Max's paper is missing. The teacher says, Max's paper isn't missing, it's right here with me. The student who completed every question correctly is none other than Max. The answers I'm sharing with you are from his copy. After class ends, Teacher Jing steps outside, only to see a group of reporters waiting at the school. Shocked, he asks, why are reporters here? Did something happen? The reporters whisper among themselves, we can't let such injustice happen to a student. The scene shifts to the principal's office. Wang's mother angrily says, Principal, where were you when my son was brutally beaten? Because of that, My son is now in a coma. I understand kids fight sometimes, but beating someone to the point of a coma, how can that be allowed? The principal tries to calm her. Madam, we don't know anything about this matter yet. Please calm down. Let me first investigate, then I'll speak. Wang's mother turns to the journalists. Did you see how this school behaves? You must help us get justice. One of the reporters turns out to be none other than Sarah. She says, no matter what, we can't let a child suffer injustice. We'll record everything and make sure the entire country sees this. The principal snaps, this is my school, not your father's park where you can record as you please. Until I say so, no recording will happen. Sarah retorts, you cannot silence a reporter's voice. If you stop us from recording, we'll call the police. The principal thinks, this reporter is getting out of hand. If this wasn't about my school's reputation, I'd have already taught her a lesson. Then he says aloud, bring the student from class 12, Max D. Roger. Shocked, Sarah blurts, was it Max who beat Wang? As far as I know, there's only one person in this entire city with the surname Roger. Could it really be my neighbor Max? Meanwhile, Max asks his teacher, why is the principal calling me to his office? The teacher replies, a very serious issue has come up. Apparently, the fight you had with Wang yesterday was reported by his mother. Be prepared, you might face a lot of questions. When Max enters the office, he says calmly, yes, principal, what's the matter? Sarah gasps, Max, what are you doing here? Max smirks, that's my question, isn't it? Because this is my school. Tearfully, Sarah says, today is my first day on the job, my first interview as a reporter, and the person I'm supposed to blame is you. How can I do this? Suddenly, Wang's mother yells, how can you not? You must do this job. Sarah protests, but he's my neighbor. I know him well, and I can guarantee Max would never do such a thing. Wang's mother shouts, so you're calling me a liar? I've given your TV station a lot of money. You have to do this interview. And principal, why are you staying silent? This boy tried to kill my son. Don't just let him go because he's a student. Max interrupts, stop shouting, you're hurting my ears. Look, I know your son didn't fall into a coma just because he lost a fight with me. You're a greedy woman who's clearly here to demand money. So hurry up and stretch out your hands. Wang's mother snaps, you're so arrogant, and your way of speaking is awful. But yes, since my son is in a coma, we'll need compensation. Max asks bluntly, how much do you want? Wang's mother replies, we want 1 million yuan. If we don't get the money, then principal, you'll have to expel this boy from school. Finally, the principal turns to Max and asks, Max, did you really beat Wang? Max says, I didn't beat him up. He came here just to get beaten. The principal replies, now, I can't protect you in this matter. You tell me, will you compensate them, or will you leave the school? Max responds, what do you mean by that? Did you even check once if Wang is actually in a coma or not? I'm not a coward like you, ready to hand over money without verifying the truth. Sarah interrupts, you're doing this completely wrong. As a school, it's your responsibility to stay neutral and investigate the matter properly. Instead, you've dumped all the blame onto one student. Wang's mother shouts, a rotten person's neighbor is also rotten. You saw my son's condition in the hospital, and yet you're still defending your neighbor? Max says calmly, I know exactly how I hit that donkey. I can guarantee he's faking the coma. And auntie, I can read it on your face. Greedy is written all over it. You're not here to seek justice. You're just trying to extort us. Do you really think I'm such a fool that I'll hand you money? The moment you came here, you threatened me with police and said you'd ruin my career. Let me tell you something. I belong to the Roger family, the biggest gangster family in the entire country. For my family, the police station is like a second home. Even today, when my dad goes to the police station, the police chief doesn't dare sit in his own chair. And you think you can scare me with threats of police? Just then, Max's father enters and says, you're absolutely right, son. The Roger family has no need to fear the police or their threats. Even today, whenever a new officer is transferred to the station, the first place he reports is not the station, it's to us. The principal, now nervous, says, you're the father of Max? Silver D. Roger? Silver D. Roger replies, amazing, isn't it? Even knowing my name, you dared to summon my son to your office. And instead of taking responsibility, you were putting the entire blame on him. To be honest, your school is completely worthless. Without proper investigation, you wouldn't have figured anything out. And this pig, this so-called coma patient, I just saw him walking around the back lane. So, I decided to finish what my son left incomplete. With only 4 punches from me, he woke up from his coma. Maybe with another 4, this pig will finally turn into a man. Wang's mother screams, who do you think you are? How dare you hit my son? If he doesn't receive treatment on time, his condition will only get worse. The principal finally snaps, Mrs. Wang, I've heard enough of your nonsense. Because of your useless son, we've already offended Silver D. Roger. A trash student like him is of no use to our school. Now that this matter is resolved, I expect you to take your son away and never show your face near this school again." Shaken, Wang's mother whispers, "Silver D. Roger, who exactly is this man?" The moment he entered, even the principal's entire attitude changed. "Looks like we've messed with the wrong family this time." The principal bows slightly and says, "Mr. Silver, please forgive us. Because of us, you had to come here personally, disturbing even your son's studies. The entrance exams are near, and we distracted him at this crucial time." Silver D. Roger laughs. "Principal, are you joking? With the kind of scores my son has, how could he ever pass the entrance exam?" The principal replies, "Mr. Silver, perhaps you don't know, recently Max has been doing exceptionally well in studies. In English and literature, he's topping his class. If he continues like this, I can guarantee he will become the first graduate of your Roger family, and he'll erase the reputation of being uneducated from your household." Shocked, Silver D. Roger says, "What? My son got first rank? Are your teachers sure? Were the papers even checked properly? How could my son possibly top? Looking at his pathetic scores before, I was convinced our family bloodline never cared for studies." The principal assures him, "No, it's true. He's really improving a lot." Later, in the corridor, Silver D. Roger pulls Max aside and says, "Listen, son, cheating isn't a good thing. But if you do know how to cheat, then at least use it in your university exams. That way, I'll at least gain some pride from your success." Max smiles bitterly. "Dad, you sound just like my friend Finn. Why is it so hard to believe that I can genuinely get good ranks?" Silver D. Roger shakes his head. "It was always easier to believe you could beat someone into a coma than to believe you could come first in class. Since childhood, I've only seen you ranking last. But fine, if you really are improving, then that's good." The next day, we see Sarah standing at the bus stop. Her cameraman calls to tell her that because of some work, he won't be able to come. Which means today, she'll have to handle both the recording and the shooting all by herself. Sarah complains irritably, "I'm a girl, how am I supposed to carry such a heavy camera?" Just then, Max arrives and asks, "Sarah, what happened? Why do you look so troubled?" Sarah explains, "I had to conduct an interview today, but my cameraman couldn't come. That means I'll have to handle both the reporting and the shooting by myself." Max replies, "How will you manage such a heavy camera alone?" "Fine, I'll be your cameraman for today." Sarah hesitates, "But what about your school?" Max smiles, "Didn't you hear what the principal said? These days I'm doing really well in my studies. I'll easily get into a top university." Sarah says, "But yesterday Uncle was right, cheating is never a good thing." Max, frustrated, shouts, "How do I make you believe that I'm not cheating?" In his mind, Max thinks, "Though technically, I am using the system to look up answers and write them down. Does that count as cheating?" As the bus arrives, both of them get on. Max thinks again, "I earn quite a lot of points through Sarah, but she's so innocent that I feel guilty earning points from her. Still, I can't deny it. She's the only girl I've been this close to." Suddenly, the driver slams the brakes hard. Sarah is thrown forward and falls straight into Max's arms. The system notifies, Sarah's body is ranked AAA. "You have earned 13 points. Sarah blushes and says, "Thank you for saving me." Max thinks, "Actually, there are so many people on this bus. Just by brushing against random girls, I could earn a lot of points. But isn't that the same thing creeps do, trying to touch girls deliberately in buses? No, I'm different. I'm only doing this to earn energy points." When they step off the bus, Max reflects, "Even though I used to score badly before, at least I was still a gentleman. But now, because of this system, I've become like a scammer. I purposely touched more than 10 girls on the bus today and earned over 20 points. I don't know how much lower this system will drag me just for points." Sarah notices him lost in thought and asks, "Max, is something wrong?" Max forces a smile, "No, nothing at all. It's just, I feel like I'm turning into someone I never wanted to be." Suddenly, they see a large crowd gathered up ahead. Max asks, "What happened here?" Sarah answers, "This is where we were supposed to take the interview. About an hour ago, a car crash happened here. A 4-year-old girl was badly injured, and the driver ran away after hitting her." Max pushes through the crowd to reach the injured girl. Meanwhile, Sarah questions a police officer, "What exactly happened here?" The officer explains, "About an hour ago we received a call that a little girl was gravely injured. Right now, we don't have much information. We're still collecting evidence." Sarah and Max then approach the doctor. Max asks, "How's the child's condition?" The doctor replies, "She has suffered massive blood loss. On top of that, her blood type is O negative, which is very rare. Unfortunately, our blood bank doesn't have it in stock. We haven't been able to contact her parents either. If they were here, maybe one of them would be a match. But if we don't get blood within the next hour, her life will be in serious danger." He turns to the officers. You need to find her parents quickly. Sarah clasps her hands and whispers, I just pray they find her parents soon. Otherwise, I don't know how this little girl will survive. Max thinks, every person has a unique body scent. If we had search dogs here, maybe they could find her parents. Just then, the system speaks, I'm also very good at tracking scents. If you give me 10 energy points, you'll gain the ability to locate anyone for 30 minutes. Max was shocked, I can actually find anyone. I thought this system only helped me with studies, but now I see it can even control technology and track people. This could be a huge help. He gives up 10 points and activates the system. The system reports, we've detected a matching set from building number 12, room 2001. Max immediately informs the police, her parents are most likely in building 12, room 2001. Sarah asks, Max, how do you know that? Max replies, I'll explain later. But the officer scoffs, kid, don't waste our time with nonsense. A child's life is at stake. We can't just act on random guesses. Max insists, this is about a child's life. Do you really think I'd joke right now? I'll take full responsibility. Send one officer with me. I guarantee we'll find the parents there. Impressed by Max's confidence, one officer agrees and accompanies him. They reach room 2001 and knock on the door. An annoyed woman opens it, saying, Are you crazy? Who knocks so loudly? But when she sees the police officer, she panics. We're just playing cards here. We're not gambling. The officer replies, We're not here for your gambling. A 4-year-old girl was in an accident nearby. We're looking for her family. Do any of you have a 4-year-old child? One woman, still holding her cards, says, My daughter is 4 years old. She goes to the kindergarten nearby. Which child are you talking about? Can you show me a photo? Max shows her the injured girl's photo. The woman breaks into tears. That's my daughter, Lulu. Where is she right now? Max glares at her and says, Stop pretending to care. Your child's life is in grave danger. She urgently needs O-negative blood. The woman sobs, My blood type is O-negative. Please, take me to my child. Forgive me for not taking care of her, but I need to be with her. Just then, a man interrupts, At least finish the game before you go. It's not like your daughter will die in the next 15 minutes. Furious, Max shouts, How disgusting can you be? A 4-year-old girl's life is on the line, and all you care about is your card game. You should be thankful I have to take this lady to her daughter right now. Otherwise, I'd break you so badly today that you'd never dare to gamble again in your life. Finally, the mother was taken to the hospital in time and donated her blood, which saved Lulu's life. She tearfully said, Thank you so much, officer, for saving my child. The officer replied, Don't thank me. Thank this boy. If he hadn't given us the lead to your location, we would have never found you. The officer then informed his chief that the child's parents had been found. The chief said, Make sure to thank that boy. He solved our biggest problem. But because of the media, this case has spread across the country. Unfortunately, we still have no clue who caused the accident. Later, the chief was called to the director's office. The director said, We're under a lot of pressure. Have you found any leads yet? The chief replied, I'm sorry, director. We still haven't found anything. We're collecting evidence, but since there were no cameras in that area, it's becoming very difficult. Just then, the doctor called the chief and said, You all did a great job. If you hadn't sent the child's mother in time, we wouldn't have been able to save her. When the chief was about to mention that Max had been the one to find the mother, it suddenly struck him. How did Max find her so easily? After hanging up, he told the director, There's a boy who's unusually skilled at finding people. We don't know how he does it or what method he uses, but he located the child's mother very quickly. The director said, If that's the case, then use his help. No matter what, this case needs to be solved within 2 days. The chairman is putting immense pressure on us. Back in his office, the chief thought, We don't have much evidence. Maybe it's time to talk to Wong. He's still with Max. Perhaps they can do something. Meanwhile, Max was thinking, My ability to find anyone lasts only for 30 minutes. Out of that, 22 minutes have already passed. I must use the remaining 8 minutes to track down the driver who caused the accident. That's the only way I can bring justice to this child. He focused entirely on locating the driver. Twice he lost focus, and the system gave him false locations. Max told himself, No matter what, I need to concentrate properly. I only have 1 minute left. Finally, the system told him, Your target is in building number 1, Hwarong area. Max immediately said to a police officer, Do you want a promotion? Then follow me, because very soon, you'll be the hero of this case. The officer asked, What do you mean? Max replied, The driver who caused the accident is hiding in building 1, Hwarong area. We must hurry, or she'll escape. Soon, Max and Officer Wong arrived at the location. When they knocked on the gate, no one answered. Officer Wong warned, If you don't open the door, we'll break it down. Finally, a woman opened the door and said, "Officers, what are you looking for here?" The officer replied, "We received a report that a serious crime occurred in this house. A neighbor tipped us off, so we need to investigate." The woman nervously said, No, that's impossible. Nothing like that has happened here. And without a proper warrant, I won't let you enter my house." At that moment, Max pushed past her and entered the house. Inside, he saw the very same car that had been in the accident earlier. Max confronted her. "How did your car get damaged? Don't tell me you ran over a 4-year-old girl and left her to die on the road. Is that why you didn't want to open the door?" The officer said, "Max, there's no point wasting time with her. Once she gets to the police station and we give her a proper interrogation, the truth will come out on its own." Suddenly, the woman tried to attack the officer and escape, but he swiftly caught her. Soon, the entire investigation team arrived. The chief later told Max, "Thank you so much. Because of you, we solved the case. By the way, your neighbor mentioned you belong to the Roger family. At first, I wondered how you were able to find everyone's location so easily, but when I learned about your background, it made sense. The Roger family has such a vast network that uncovering information is child's play for them. And this is the first time the Roger family has actually used that power for something good." Max says, "Yes, now we members of the Roger family have become very responsible. We're living our lives as good citizens." At the same time, Max thinks to himself, "In this whole case, I lost 20 energy points." Then an officer gives Max's phone number and says, "If you ever need help in life, make sure to call me." Later, during the investigation, it's revealed that the woman had deliberately caused Lulu's accident. The real reason was that Lulu's father had been having an affair with that woman for almost 3 years. He had even promised her marriage, but in the end, he refused only because of his daughter. For that reason, Lulu became a thorn in the woman's eyes. Day by day, because of Lulu, the woman felt her lover slipping away from her. So, she decided to remove Lulu from her path, but she failed in her attempt. After the entire case was wrapped up, Sarah said, "My boss really praised me a lot because you solved this case. That's why we had exclusive photos. And you know what? Thanks to your help, my job in the company is now permanent. That's why I'm going to treat you." Later, they both go to a nice restaurant. Sarah asks Max, "Do you have a girlfriend? If not, I can introduce you to one of my friends." Blushing, Max replies, "A girlfriend? No, I don't have one yet." But then he suddenly remembers he needs points from the system and adds, "If it were possible, I'd make a girl like you my girlfriend." Hearing this, Sarah blushes heavily and says, "All right, today I'll let you taste some good beer." Max quickly replies, "I'm still a kid. I can't drink beer." Sarah laughs and says, "Ah, I forgot about that." Then she starts drinking alone, and after a while, she gets very drunk. Tipsy, Sarah says, "Max, I must admit, you're really cute." The system informs Max, "Because Sarah touched you, you gained 8 energy points." Later, Max drops Sarah safely at her house. He tells Uncle, "Sarah covered a very big case today. To celebrate, she ended up drinking a lot." Uncle replies, "Thank you, Max. Honestly, this girl never takes care of herself. She drank so much without even thinking who would take her home safely. Good thing you were with her, otherwise these days, boys aren't that trustworthy." When Max returns home, his mom shouts, "Why didn't you go to school today?" Max answers, "I was helping Sarah record the case. That's why I couldn't attend school." Angrily, his mom says, "Sarah is doing her job, but you need to pass your university exams first. If you don't graduate, you'll end up working as just a cameraman. Now go study. Stop wasting your time on these useless things." Max mutters, "Did Finn call you and complain about me again?" He's usually the one who does that. But his mom says, "No, it was a girl named Zia. She called and asked why you didn't come to school." The next day, we see Max arriving at school. His teacher, Mr. Zheng, approaches him and says, "Max, you missed yesterday's test, so now you'll have to retake all of it with me." When Max sits in the office to give the test, he notices all the teachers staring at him. He wonders, why are they looking at me like that? Maybe because of my improving marks, they've started to suspect me. But as long as I have the ChatGPT system, no one can figure out how I'm scoring so well. Using his system, Max quickly solves all the questions. Seeing his incredible speed, the teachers are shocked. While solving, Max says, "This paper was so easy, I solved it in no time." Meanwhile, Teacher Zheng thinks, "This isn't even the same paper the other students took yesterday. This one is so difficult that even graduates would struggle. But this boy solved the entire paper in just 45 minutes, and as far as I can see, every answer is correct." Delighted, Teacher Zheng says, "All right, Max, go back to your class and continue studying." After Max leaves, the other teachers whisper, "Didn't he solve the paper a little too fast? It didn't even look like he properly read the questions." Another teacher adds, some of these questions couldn't be solved without a calculator, but this boy answered them all so casually. A third teacher says, I suspected he might have had an answer key hidden somewhere, but we saw he didn't. Still, the way he wrote his answers was too perfect, as if he already knew them. Teacher Jing responds, perhaps you're just seeing him solve questions for the first time. That's why you're so shocked. I've tested this boy before. In just 20 minutes, he solved an entire paper. And just like last time, today he scored full marks again. Hearing this, the other teachers rush to check his paper and exclaim, this is unbelievable. How did he solve the math section so easily? If he truly can solve such problems so effortlessly, then maybe we've found our Einstein. Another teacher says, this is strange. A boy who always failed in every exam has suddenly turned into a genius. Could he be using some kind of high-tech earphones to cheat? A colleague replies, that's impossible. Even with earphones, he wouldn't have the questions beforehand. Teacher Jin concludes, there's nothing suspicious here. I believe our school will go very far because of him. I guarantee this boy has a very bright future. When Max enters his math class, he notices Shinli trying to solve problems on the board. Max was thinking, this idiot always brings tough questions, solves them on the board, and then shows off. Shinli said, you know what the teacher said? If we solve this question, nothing can stop us from topping the entrance exam. Jean replied, Shinli, you're solving trigonometry on the board. How can you even expect us to solve such a hard question? Look, I know you love showing off, but this question is way beyond your level. Zia also added, there's no point wasting our brains on this question. Max interrupted, don't give him advice. Haven't you heard the saying, even if a king is ruined, his pride doesn't fade? That saying was made for him. Just then, Shinli said, you guys know, for our friend Max, all questions are the same. Whether it's 2 plus 2 or trigonometry, he won't be able to solve either. And you know what? In his Roger family's bloodline, the concept of studying doesn't even exist. His fate has only one path written in it, becoming a gangster. Max stood up and said, so in your bloodline there was education, right? But even you can't solve this question. Let's see if I can do it. Then we'll know who's smarter between us. Activating his system, Max began solving the question, and within moments, he finished the entire solution. Shocked, Shilmi said, how did you do that? Max replied, did you really think I was like you? Not everyone's brain works as slow as yours. Next time you struggle with studies, don't hesitate, just ask me. I'll teach you properly. Shinli said, but you wrote the direct answer without even showing steps. Max responded, stop making excuses. Don't whine. Before they could argue further, the math teacher walked in. Your exams are coming up, and instead of studying, you're sitting here arguing? Quickly, Shinli said, teacher, I solved a very tough question and wanted to show everyone. But look, Max solved it so easily. Looking at the board, the teacher asked, Max, did you solve this? How did you manage such a big equation without using any formulas? That's like calculating millions in your head on your fingers. Skills like this have only belonged to a handful of geniuses in all of history. Max replied, teacher, I actually did use a formula, but I forgot to write it down. The teacher said, all right then, go back to your seat. Max thought to himself, the teachers are suspicious of me. Solving questions directly like this will only make them more suspicious. Next time, I'll solve step by step to avoid raising doubts. Meanwhile, sitting in class, Shinli thought, this bastard Max was already better than me in looks and fighting. On top of that, his surname and family background are way cooler than mine. The only thing I was ahead of him in was studies. But now, by cheating, he's gone far ahead of me. Even my friend Wang tried to teach him a lesson, but Max defeated him too. Now the time has come to change my approach. Even if I have to use dangerous methods, I will. Leaving class, Shinli called Brother Lu. Brother Lu asked, why did you call me? Shinli said, there's a guy in class who's been causing a lot of trouble. I want you to teach that bastard a lesson. Lu replied, a slap costs 2,000. A proper beating costs 5,000. Shinli said, I want him beaten badly. That's why I'm transferring you 5,000. Tomorrow, I want that bastard to be lying beaten up. His name is Max D. Roger. After school, Finn said to Max, I've got something to do, so I'm going home by another route. Take care of yourself on the way. Meanwhile, Lu's men spotted Max's boss. That's our target, Lu confirmed. Yes, that's the bastard Max D. Roger. Alright brothers, surround him quickly. Soon, they all stood in front of Max. Max looked at them and said, what am I, handing out lollipops here? Why are you all standing in front of me like this? Suddenly, Lu charged at Max. But dodging the attack, Max landed a brutal punch, knocking Lu unconscious in just one hit. Max said, yesterday my mom scolded me badly for coming home late. So, anyone who wants to get beaten, come forward quickly. I won't be late again because of you guys. The others said, Lu lost so fast? No matter, we're not that weak. We'll break this bastard's bones. But Max started beating them all one by one. While fighting, Max thought, I need to limit my strength, otherwise people might get suspicious. Then one of them attacked Max again. Max thought, Grandpa, why didn't you let me practice martial arts after I turned 8? If you had, I wouldn't be taking even a single hit today. Suddenly, Ding approached Max and said, Kid, you're really good at fighting. But come on, take a few hits from us so we can complete our mission. If you resist too much, we'll break your arms and legs. Max replied, Until now I was going easy on you, but you mistook that for weakness. Now I understand, you guys are professional thugs. So from now on, I'll beat you professionally too. Ding shouted, Don't think knocking one of us out makes you Bruce Lee. You don't win fights with big talk. Saying that, Ding launched a dangerous attack. But Max caught his bat, grabbed him by the neck, and lifted him off the ground. The rest of the men attacked Max together, shouting, Hit him with the iron bats. But he's still not going down. Just then, Max started punching Ding in the face repeatedly. He kept hitting him until all of Ding's teeth were broken. Seeing the condition of their boss, the rest of the men became extremely frightened. But then, Lou and the others gathered their courage and stepped forward to attack. Picking up a pipe, Max said, Now this will be fun. You guys enjoyed hitting me with an iron pipe, right? Now feel for yourselves what it's like to be hit with one. Saying that, Max beat them all at once. As Ding tried to escape, he shouted, This bastard is a monster. But Max kicked him to the ground, grabbed him by the throat, and said, Tell me, who sent you to beat me up? Ding replied, There's a rule in our business. We can give up our lives, but we never reveal the name of the one who gave us the job. Hearing this, Max started slapping him and said, Looks like you've been watching too many movies. Finally, Ding broke down, Please stop hitting me. I really don't know who told us to attack you. My boss just told me that we had to beat you up. Max said coldly, Then go and tell your boss this. Never show his face in front of me again. If you people ever attack me a second time, know this. Today I'm sparing your lives, but next time I'll bury you right here. So think 100 times before you try again. Now take your friends and get out of here before the police arrive. I belong to the Roger family. I'll walk free, but you all are still young. Your future will be destroyed. Saying this, Max walked away. One of the thugs turned to Lou and asked, Now what do we do? Lou replied angrily, That bastard Shinley didn't tell us we'd be fighting such a tough guy. He told me it was just some nerd we had to rough up. Now, 5,000 will be spent just on our medical bills. Another thug said, One guy defeated all of us. If this news spreads, our reputation will be ruined. Lou smirked, I've got a good idea. This bastard Max is destined to be beaten. Whether it's us or our boss who does it, it doesn't matter. He then walked up to Ding and asked, Are you okay? Ding groaned, That bastard broke all my teeth. Lou replied, Good. Right now all of us are in terrible condition. Let's go straight to Master Liang. Once he sees how badly someone has beaten his men, he will definitely take revenge for us. The rest agreed, if Master Liang gets involved in this, that bastard Max won't be spared. Scene shifted, we see Master Liang collecting protection money. The shopkeeper pleaded, Business hasn't been good lately. Could you please reduce the protection fee a little? Liang replied, Mr. Zhao, your business runs because of people, and our business runs because of you. If you pay the protection fee, nothing will ever happen to your shop. But if you reduce the payment and another gang attacks, we might arrive late. And if in those few minutes your entire shop is destroyed, you'll suffer a huge loss. So pay up in full if you want to stay safe. Who knows, your shop might be gone before we even get there. Mr. Zhao pleaded again, Please, could you reduce it just a little? But Liang grabbed him by the collar and shouted, Baldy, I've been listening to your nonsense for too long. If you ask me to lower the price one more time, I'll kill you right here. Do you think this is a vegetable market where you can use bargaining skills on me? At that moment, Zhao's bodyguard stepped in. You can't attack our Mr. Zhao. What kind of thuggery is this? Isn't there any law here? Liang sneered, The rules here are me. The law here is me. You must be new in this area. That's why you don't know I'm the boss around here. Even if I kill you and bury you right here, the police can't do a thing. Terrified by his rage, Zhao begged, Please forgive us. I'll pay the full protection fee. Just spare this boy. Liang scoffed, If I spare him today, his courage will grow. That's why I must break it. Saying this, he delivered a brutal punch to the bodyguard, leaving him badly injured. Seeing this, Zhao panicked, I'll increase the protection fee 10 times. Just let me take my bodyguard away. Liang smirked, Now you're talking. If you'd agreed earlier, this poor guy wouldn't have been hurt. Just then, Qian began massaging Liang's shoulders, saying, Our brother Liang shouldn't get angry over such small matters. Liang replied, I don't like losing my temper either, but whenever it's about money, I can't control my anger. At that moment, Lu and his men arrived. Liang looked at their condition and asked, What the hell happened to you all? Lu said, Brother Leon, we were beaten badly. Leon frowned, looking at you. It seems you've been in a gang war. How many people attacked you? Lou lowered his head. It was just one guy. A normal high schooler. Furious, Leon shouted, for professional thugs, beaten up by one high school kid. And now you have the guts to come here and tell me this? Do you even get fed at home? Have you all become this weak? And if you thought you couldn't win, then why the hell did you even fight a high schooler in the first place? Lou quickly explained, Boss Leon, we had a reason. A close friend of mine called and asked for help. And you know, friendship always comes first. That's why I thought I'd teach that bastard a lesson. But I didn't know he'd turn out to be this strong. And do you know what he said while beating me up? He said, Boss Leon is the son of a dog, and all his men are just like kittens, weak and useless. Boss Leon said angrily, a mere high schooler dares to talk trash about us? Lou added, not only that, he beat Ding so badly that all of his teeth are broken. Leon asked, how much money did you take for this job? Lou answered, a total of 3,000 yuan. Leon ordered, give me 2,000 and use the remaining 1,000 for your medical treatment. Anyway, who is this bastard that dares to insult us so openly? Lou replied, that bastard's name is Max D. Roger. Keon thought to herself, wait, is he talking about Max from my class? Leon turned to her and asked, do you know this Max? Keon said with a fake tone, yes, this bastard is my desk mate. Do you know what kind of person he is? He often takes advantage of opportunities to touch me inappropriately. If you're going to teach him a lesson, make sure you beat him extra hard. Leon roared, that bastard dared to put his hands on my girlfriend. Keon smirked and said, I have a brilliant idea to deal with him. He has a girlfriend who always stands by his side. You could say she's his greatest weakness. Leon asked, is his girlfriend really that beautiful? Keon replied, yes, she's the #1 beauty of our campus. Not as pretty as me, of course, but definitely the most beautiful after me. Leon laughed, that means soon, on my right will be you, and on my left will be that girl. Keon shrugged, I don't care about all that. But first, teach that bastard Max a lesson. Do whatever you want with Zia afterwards. Meanwhile, we see Max muttering to himself, because of those bastards, my clothes are ruined. If I go home like this, Dad will know I was fighting, and that could trigger an unnecessary gang war in this city. I need to find a way to cover this up so Dad doesn't find out. Just then, Sarah appeared behind him and asked, what are you doing here? It's late. Why haven't you gone home yet? Seeing her, Max froze awkwardly. Sarah looked at him and said, you've been fighting, haven't you? And now you're worried about how to go home, because if your dad sees you like this, he'll scold you. Fine, I'll help you. Just keep your mouth shut and follow me. Max asked nervously, Sarah, where are we going? You're not tricking me into going back home, are you? But Sarah brought him to her own house. Max looked around and asked, where are Uncle and Aunt? I don't see them at home. Sarah explained, today was my cousin's wedding. They won't be coming back tonight. You sit here, I'll get the first aid kit. Max thought, so right now, it's just the two of us alone in the house. This might be a good chance to earn some points. Sarah began applying ointment on Max's face and said, take off your shirt. I need to check your body for injuries. While checking, Sarah suddenly kissed him. The system chimed, kiss detected, plus 30 energy points awarded. Just as things were about to progress further, Max suddenly winced in pain. Sarah asked in concern, Max, are you alright? Max groaned, my back's badly hurt. It doesn't feel good at all. When Sarah checked, she saw deep bruises on his back. She said seriously, you should go to the hospital. If the wound gets worse, it could affect your body long term. But Max shook his head, it's not that deep. I'll be fine. Sarah carefully applied more ointment on his back and said, don't wear a shirt for a while. Let it dry. Max sighed to himself, really? I had to get hurt at such a crucial time. I must have lost at least 1,000 energy points today. But fine, if not today, then tomorrow. Next time I get the chance, I won't waste it. Just then, Sarah's phone rang. Max thought, it's from the chief editor. Must be something urgent about her work. He knocked on her door and said, Sarah, your phone's ringing. From inside, Sarah replied nervously, what are you doing out there? I'm changing clothes. Max said, it's a call from the chief editor. I thought it was important, so I came to tell you. Sarah quickly pulled him inside her room and whispered, hide inside the wardrobe, fast. The chief editor is my friend who lives near the station. If she's calling me, that means Dad probably came back earlier than expected. Don't come out until I tell you it's safe. A moment later, Sarah's father entered the house and asked, was someone here? I heard voices. Sarah replied calmly, I was just talking to a friend on the phone. He frowned, then why do I smell so much ointment here? Are you hurt? Sarah quickly lied, yes, I got hurt while working at the TV station earlier. That's why I applied ointment. Her father said, all right, go get some rest. You have work in the morning. After locking the door, Sarah whispered to Max, you can come out now. My dad will be asleep in a couple of minutes. Once he's out, you can head home. About half an hour later, Max quietly slipped out of the house. He thought to himself, I always believed I'd live my life with dignity, never acting like those sleazy, desperate guys. But look at me now, sneaking out of a girl's house half naked. The crazy part is, I don't even feel ashamed. This perverted system is turning me into a complete pervert. The next day, Max returned to school. Seeing him, Shinli thought angrily, so he's completely fine? Then what did Lou actually do yesterday? He immediately called Lou and shouted, didn't I tell you I don't want to see Max in one piece today? And look, he's sitting in class perfectly fine. It seems you didn't do your job. Lou shouted back, I've never seen such a lousy employer in my life. First, you didn't even give us the right information about the target. Why didn't you warn us about this bastard's fighting skills? Don't worry, though. We've already handed this job to our boss. Your request will be handled. We don't steal money from clients. But next time, before yelling at us, think 100 times. Paying us 5,000 yuan doesn't mean you own us. Shinli replied nervously, all right, I'm sorry. I just want to see that bastard Max broken and weak. Watching him alive and well makes me furious. Just then, Kian walked over and sneered, I knew it. If there's anyone who hates Max enough to hire gangsters to beat him up, it's you. Shinli snapped, what nonsense are you talking about? I didn't do anything like that. Kian smirked, don't play innocent with me. I'm Boss Liang's girlfriend. I heard Lou telling him everything with my own ears. And truth be told, I also want to see that bastard Max beaten up. That's why I deliberately provoked Liang to make sure he'd deal with Max brutally. Don't worry, this time, Max won't escape. Meanwhile, Zia and her friend were heading out for lunch. Max asked, Zia, where are you going? She smiled, I'm going to lunch. Want to come along? Max replied, no, I have something else to do. As they left, Zia's friend whispered, wow, isn't Max looking more handsome than usual? I never realized he's actually the most handsome guy in our class. He's so gentle and kind, it's hard to believe he comes from a gangster family. Zia blushed slightly and thought, why didn't I notice Max has become even more handsome? Her friend teased, that's because you stare at him all the time. You're so obsessed you don't even notice how much he's changed. Everyone in class knows you like him. Embarrassed, Zia muttered, stop saying nonsense. We're just good friends, that's all. Later that day, when school was over, Liang's men were already waiting in an alley outside. One of them whispered, Brother San, boss said if we can't catch Max, we should grab his girlfriend instead. And look, there she is, Zia. She's all alone. This is the perfect chance. Moments later, Zia's friend came running to Max in a panic. Max asked, what happened? Wei, why do you look so scared? And where's Zia? Weren't you two going home together? She cried out, some thugs kidnapped Zia. No one else was around, so we couldn't even call for help. Hearing this, Max sprinted out of the school, but by the time he reached outside, Zia was already gone. Just then, his phone rang. It was Liang. Liang sneered over the call, Max D. Roger, if you want your girlfriend back, come to the place behind the hill. If you arrive in time, you might save her. But if you don't, by tomorrow, she'll belong to me. Tonight, I'll treat her so well that she'll forget you completely. Max roared, who the hell are you? Why did you capture Zia? Liang laughed, if you want answers, hurry to the forest behind the hill. Max clenched his fists and thought, this is obviously a trap. But if I call the police, they might hurt Zia immediately. I know it's dangerous, but for Zia, I have to take this risk. Soon, Max arrived at the forest. He shouted, I came here alone, just like you wanted. Now let her go. Liang laughed mockingly, you know, it took you 15 minutes to get here. And in those 15 minutes, I changed my mind. Now, I'll beat you up first, and then have fun with your girlfriend right in front of you. Do you know how much I'll enjoy that? Max saw that these were the same guys he had beaten the day before, but this time there were even more of them. He thought, I can't hold back at all today. Zia's life is on the line. And with that, Max launched into the fight. Liang smirked, Max D. Roger, you really are skilled. Fighting 10 men at once, even without martial arts training, that's impressive. While striking them down, Max thought, if Grandpa hadn't held me back all these years, I'd show you what true martial power really is. Suddenly, Lou attacked Max's leg from behind, and a bald thug smashed into his chest, knocking him to the ground. Leon sneered, so this is all you've got? Fine, your punishment is done. Now it's your girlfriend's turn. As he said this, he threw a brutal punch at Max. The system chimed, host, would you like to double your strength for 10 minutes by spending 4 energy points? Max shouted, damn it, system. I've been taking hits all this time and you didn't tell me earlier? Fine, better late than never. Now I'll show them what true power is. Just then, one thug charged at him with a bat. Max countered with a single punch, shattering the man's bones instantly. Grabbing the bat, Max sneered, Let's say this bat is you guys. And now, just like this bat, I'm going to break all of you. He snapped the bat in half with ease and roared, if your mother's fed you Fairlife milk, then come at me and fight. Seeing Max's overwhelming strength, fear spread across the gangsters' faces. But still, gathering courage, Lou and the bald guy stepped forward to attack. However, with just a single punch each, Max knocked them both out. Terrified, Leon said, "What kind of monster strength is this? I've seen many powerful people before, but just by standing here, he's making it hard for me to even breathe. His energy feels so dense, it's suffocating me." Running away, Leon shouted, "I have no interest in fighting a monster like you. Anyway, I'm an orphan, that's why I never drank Fairlife milk." Chasing him, Max said, "After what you did to Zia, you think you can just run away?" Leon quickly jumped into his car and tried to ram Max with it. He yelled, "No matter how strong you are, you can't stop a car." But with just one strike, Max ripped open the car's trunk. Pulling Leon out, Max demanded, "Where's Zia?" Terrified, Leon confessed, "She's in the trunk." Max rushed to Zia, pulled her out of the car, and said, "I'm so sorry you had to suffer because of this." At that moment, the system's voice echoed, "Host, your 4 minutes are over." Max turned to Zia and said, "Please, go home. It's important I finish this properly, otherwise, they'll just come after you again." "They might have run, but they haven't gone far," Zia pleaded. "Max, please don't go." Max sighed, "All right, I'll take you back to school first. Once you've fixed your clothes, you should go home safely." When they returned to school, Max told Zia, "Make sure to go home with your friends. It's too dangerous to go alone." Meanwhile, Wei Wei had already called Zia's other friends to the school. Relieved, they said, "Thank goodness Zia is safe. Hurry up and get back to class before the teacher sees us." Just then, Teacher Sun approached and said, "Stop right there, kids. Why are you standing so close together?" He frowned, then added, "At first, I thought you were just normal students, but you're Max, the genius of our school, and Zia, who always tops her class. I can't punish such brilliant students, but why are you two so close?" Suddenly, he shouted, "Don't you know relationships are not allowed in school? Coming to such a good school doesn't mean you can behave like this." Max quickly explained, "Teacher Sun, you misunderstand. I'm holding Zia because she's hurt." Teacher Sun asked in shock, "Zia is injured? Take her to the medical room immediately." Carrying her in his arms, Max said, "She can't walk right now, so I'll have to carry her." Teacher Sun looked suspicious. "Is she really injured? Or are you just fooling me?" Without wasting time, Max rushed Zia to the medical room. Teacher Sun then turned to the other girls and said, "School ended over 4 hours ago. Why are you still here? Go home immediately." Meanwhile, in the medical room, Max said, "All right, let me treat your injury quickly." Zia asked, "Max, do you even know how to treat wounds?" Max replied, "When I was young, I used to practice martial arts. Sometimes I got hurt, and my grandpa taught me how to do first aid. The ointment might sting a little, but soon you'll feel fine." At the same time, Teacher Sun told Teacher Jing about Zia's injury. Teacher Jing said, "I heard some gangsters attacked Max. Zia's injury must be related to them." Teacher Tian asked curiously, "Gangsters? Injuries? Did Max get hurt?" Teacher Sun replied, "Not Max, Zia." Max carried her to the medical room. But honestly, Max himself looked badly worn out. Teacher Tian sighed, "Both of them are such bright students. If they get injured, it's terrible for our school's reputation. Why don't you two teachers head home? It's late. My house is empty anyway, so I'll stay back and send these 2 kids home before I leave." The other teachers thanked her, relieved they didn't have to stay longer. When Miss Tian reached outside the medical room, she heard strange sounds from inside. Zia's voice cried out, "Max, it hurts so much." Max replied, "Just hold on for 2 more seconds. I'm almost done." Blushing, Miss Tian rushed inside, only to see Max applying ointment to Zia's wound. She sighed in relief, realizing it wasn't what she had feared. Smiling teasingly, she asked, "Max, what did you do to cause Zia's injury?" Max protested, "She's the one who got hurt, and yet you're blaming me?" Miss Tian said firmly, "Stand up. I know Zia's injury is because of you, and I also know you're actually more injured than she is." Lifting Max's shirt, she revealed his bruises and said, "See, you're the one who's badly hurt. Sit down right now. I'll treat you." Zia thought to herself, "Why do I feel so jealous seeing Miss Tian care for him?" After applying the ointment, Miss Tian said, "Stand up. I need to check your leg too." But when she looked up, she realized Max had already fallen asleep. Miss Tian said, "He must have been really exhausted. That's why he fell asleep sitting there." When Max finally opened his eyes, he realized it was already midnight. On his way home, he thought, "I guess I was too tired, that's why I dozed off like that." Just then, he noticed Sarah walking along the same road. Approaching her, Max asked, "Does your TV station end this late?" Sarah smirked, "But your school ended hours ago." why are you still in your school uniform? Max glanced at her outfit and teased, and where are you going, all dressed up like that? Sarah smiled playfully, is it just the dress that's amazing, or do I look good too? Blushing, Max muttered, honestly, you'd look amazing even without clothes. Sarah laughed, alright, you should go home. I'm going to a party with my friend. Max asked suspiciously, this friend of yours, is it a guy or a girl? Sarah teased, why? If it's a guy, will our little Max get jealous? Max shook his head, it's not like that, but in those clothes, anyone would fall for you. Sarah smiled, well, my friend is about to arrive. You can see for yourself whether it's a boy or girl. Soon, a luxury car stopped in front of them. Shocked, Max muttered, wow, I never imagined my neighbor's friends would be this rich. The car door opened, and a girl stepped out, apologizing, sorry for being late. Sarah, relieved, Max whispered, so, it's a girl. Sarah's friend glanced at Max and asked, Sarah, who's this? Sarah introduced him, this is my neighbor, Max D. Roger. Max asked curiously, where are you two heading this late at night? Sarah's friend teased, looks like little Max is worried about two older girls going out. If that's the case, why don't you join us? I'll show you what the life of the rich looks like. Max thought, it's not safe for them to go out alone at this hour. Anyway, I already told my family I'd be late, so I can tag along with Sarah. With that, he agreed and got into the car. Sarah's friend grinned, better buckle up, kid. The speed's about to get crazy. She slammed the accelerator, and soon they arrived at their destination. Laughing, she said, the car's been parked for a while now, and you're still sitting inside. Guess you're not used to high speeds. When Max stepped out, he saw the parking lot filled with luxury cars. He asked Sarah, what place is this? Sarah pointed ahead, see that guy? He's one of the richest men in the city, Chinchutian. He loves racing and is a professional racer. That's why he's invited all the other rich elites here tonight for a race. And since my friend Lenzia is wealthy, I got invited too. Normally, reporters aren't allowed in this racing club. But thanks to Lenzia, I got permission to come and interview everyone. This is going to be an exclusive story. As they approached, Chinchutian greeted, Miss Lenzia, your presence has truly honored my racing club. Lenzia replied, looks like you've prepared quite well for tonight's race. Chin smirked, and who's this lovely lady with you? Lenzia introduced sharply, I told you before, this is my friend Sarah. She's a reporter here to interview people. And listen, you're a cheap, disgusting man. Don't try your nonsense in front of my friend, or I won't spare you. Ignoring her warning, Chin looked at Sarah and said, a reporter's salary is about 10,000 yuan a month, right? I'll pay you 30,000 yuan for just one night. Interested? Before Sarah could react, Max grabbed Chen's hand and said coldly, keep your filthy hands to yourself. If you try to touch her again, I don't care if you're rich or poor, I'll smash you right here. And your bodyguards won't be able to save you. Chin glared, who the hell brought this brat here? Sarah quickly said, Mr. Chin, please. He's with me. Chin snapped, because you've offended me, you're no longer welcome in my competition. Lenzia cut in angrily, stop this nonsense, Chin. Why are you creating drama now? Chin smirked, if you ask me, I'll let them stay. After all, you're my fiancé. Your father has already accepted me as his son-in-law. Shouting, Lenzia said, my father might have accepted you, but I never did. And who would ever like a cheap man like you? Chin sneered, no matter how much you refuse, I won't give up on you. Besides, you don't even have a boyfriend. So how can you reject me? Lenzia thought bitterly, if only I had a boyfriend, I could easily shut him down. Then, determined, she said, who told you I don't have a boyfriend? I do, and he's younger and far more handsome than you. She grabbed Max's arm and declared, see, this is my boyfriend. Chin laughed mockingly, your dad would never accept a poor guy like him as your fiancé, and I know your standards aren't this low. Grabbing some random boy and calling him your boyfriend, do you really think I'll believe it? Without hesitation, Lenzia pulled Max close and kissed him on the cheeks. Both Chen and Sarah's eyes widened in shock. Lenzia whispers in Max's ear, act with me. In return, I'll give you a lot of money. Just then, the system announces, host, you've earned 30 energy points for this case. While acting, Max says, yes, I'm Lenzia's secret boyfriend, Max D. Roger. I've been her boyfriend since the days I used pencils while she used pens. We've been dating for years, but we never let anyone find out. Crying, Chutian says, if your boyfriend were some rich, handsome guy, I would have accepted defeat. But why did you choose this poor man? If it's about looks, I'm even ready to get plastic surgery for you. Lenzia replies, I like young men. Even though you're my age, you look 10 years older. You can change your face with surgery, but you can't reverse your age. That's why you don't stand a chance. To make everyone believe further, Lenzia kisses Max again. The system says, host, you've earned 100 points for this kiss. Max thinks, what does this girl really want? If it weren't for these points, I'd never agree. Crying, Chutian says, you've shattered my heart into 1,000 pieces. I admit, this guy is better than me in both age and looks, but I won't recognize him as worthy until he beats me in a race. Max replies, any chick could beat you in a race. Even if I were asleep, I'd still defeat you. Handing Max the keys, Lenzia says, show him who the real Formula 1 racer is. Sarah says, you never told me you two were dating. They reply, oh, we were just acting. We only wanted to fool that guy. Smiling, Sarah says, really? Is that so? Lenzia urges, Max, show them how amazing you are. Max reassures her, don't worry, you've trusted the right person. Then Max suddenly remembers, he's too young, has no license, and doesn't even know how to drive. As the race is about to begin, everyone sees Max's car isn't starting. Lenzia asks, what is Max doing? Why hasn't he started the car yet? The countdown is about to end. 3, 2, 1, and the race begins. But Max is still fumbling, thinking, which button starts the car? Chutian speeds ahead. People shout, why isn't racer number 2 moving? Is he so confident that he's trying to provoke the opponent? Max mutters, no, I'm not provoking anyone. I just can't start the damn car. That scoundrel had bet that the loser must give the winner 20,000 yuan. Max worries, where am I going to get so much money? The system interrupts, host, for 5 energy points, I can make you the best driver in the world. Overjoyed, Max says, why didn't you say that earlier? Do you enjoy watching me suffer? Now empowered, Max finally accelerates. Lenzia, however, worries, Max made a huge mistake. He's too far behind Chutian, he can never catch up. Chutian smirks, boy, today I'll teach you why you don't mess with your elders. I'll win with such a big lead, it won't even look like a race. But Max drifts skillfully, catching up fast. Chutian thinks, how is he controlling the car so well? I underestimated him. But no matter how good he is, he can't pass me. He pushes his car to top speed. Max thinks, I've already hit top speed. The only way to win is to take turns at full throttle. After a few perfect drifts, Max gets dangerously close. Chutian thinks, I've been racing since he was a child. How could I lose to him? Looks like I'll have to blind him with my headlights. Using the same trick he once used to defeat a Japanese pro, he blinds Max. For a moment, Max sees nothing, but guided by the system's instructions, he takes the turn flawlessly and overtakes Chutian. Panicking, Chutian exclaims, he's driving this well even with his eyes closed. Max praises, system, you're incredible. Max wins the race. Sarah runs to him and says, I was so scared at first when you couldn't even start the car. I thought you didn't know how to drive. Meanwhile, Chutian glares angrily at Max, humiliated in front of the whole city. Lenzia says, according to the rules, hand over the 20,000 yuan. Reluctantly, Chutian gives Max 20,000 yuan. Max thinks, this is the first time in my life I've seen so much money at once. The world of the rich is truly different, they give away such amounts as if it's nothing. Chutian vows, Max D. Roger, from today, you are my sworn enemy. You stole both my girl and my honor. Until I take them back, I am not Chutian. Max ignores him and walks toward the car. Chutian's bodyguard says, boss, that kid was just lucky. The truth is, your skills are better. And as for Lenzia, she made a huge mistake choosing him. You're the real diamond, it's just that she doesn't recognize it. Chutian replies, I know that already. I was never after Lenzia just because I loved her. The real reason is her family's property. She's the sole heir of the Len family. If I want to become the head of my own Chen family, I must somehow bring the Len family to my side. And the only way is through Lenzia. Meanwhile, Max hands all the prize money to Lenzia. Lenzia says, what will I do with this? You earned it, it's yours. Shocked, Max replies, but what will I even do with so much money? Lenzia says, keep it. If you don't, I'll feel really bad. Max slips the money into his pocket, thinking, I'd only ever heard people say that money makes your pocket feel warm. But today I realize, it doesn't just make it warm, it makes it heavy too. Then Lenzia says, Max, how about you drop off both of us beautiful girls at home? Max thinks, I only had driving skills for about 30 minutes. Now I've already forgotten it. I can't waste even 5 points on something useless. So he says, I don't have a license, and your car is an expensive luxury model. If someone without a license drives it, the fine you'll get will be just as huge. Sarah adds, yes, Lenzia, we're really tired. Max hasn't even gone home yet. We should leave now. Lenzia agrees, alright then, but next time you come to see me, make sure you bring Max along. She drops them near their building. Max thinks, because of Sarah, I've gained a lot today. But I've noticed, since we came back, she hasn't spoken to me. Did something happen? He says, Sarah, I earned so much money today thanks to you. Would you like to go out for dinner with me? Sarah replies, I'm really exhausted. I just want to go home. Besides, you should use that money to treat your friends, people your own age. Holding her hand, Max asks, are you feeling jealous of Lenzia? Sarah answers, no, I know you two were just acting. Why would I feel jealous? Max insists, Sarah, it doesn't matter how rich Lenzia is, or how beautiful she may be, she's not the girl I like. The one I truly like is you. The scene shifts to the Len family home. When Lenzia sneaks in, her grandfather catches her. Nervously, she asks, Grandpa, you're still awake? He replies, I was having a wonderful dream, but some noisy car woke me up. Lenzia mutters, who's the fool driving such a noisy car at this hour? Grandpa retorts, that fool is you. And a while ago, Chu Tian called me. Now tell me quickly, who is this Max D. Roger? Lenzia answers, he's nobody, just a friend. I was only making fun of Chu Tian. Grandpa says, so you were testing him. That means you finally agree with me and are ready to marry Chu Tian. He starts making a call, saying, prepare everything at once. But Lenzia interrupts, wait, Grandpa, I was lying. Max is my boyfriend. He's the reason I don't want to marry Chu Tian. Grandpa asks, and what does Max have that makes him worthy to be our family's son-in-law? Chu Tian told me he's just a young student, still in school. Do you think he can uphold our family's heritage? Lenzia replies, I don't know about that. The two argue back and forth. Then Lenzia's elder sister, San, arrives. Crying, Lenzia says, Sister San, Grandpa is scolding me. San asks, what happened? Grandpa, why are you scolding her? Did she do something wrong? Grandpa says, this girl abandoned a dinner meeting to date a mere high schooler. And when I asked who he is, she couldn't even tell me properly. San firmly replies, no matter what, Grandpa, she's still just a child. You shouldn't scold her like this. And as for that scoundrel Chu Tian, I don't like him either. I'll never let my little sister marry that bastard. Lenzia agrees, that's exactly why I don't like him. Grandpa thinks to himself, Lenzia may be foolish, but San is wise. If she says Chu Tian isn't right, then he really isn't right. Finally, Grandpa says, all right, I accept what you're saying. I won't make you marry Chu Tian, but at least introduce me to this new boyfriend of yours. Grandpa and San both add, we want to see what the future son-in-law of the Len family is really like. Meanwhile, Lenzia worries silently, forgive me, Max, but now you're caught between two demons. What will happen to you? The scene changes. We see Max sitting in his room, counting money. While hiding it, he thinks, I need to hide this money somewhere my dad will never find it. If he does, I won't get to use it at all. Just then, Max's father enters the room and says, quickly give me a pen. I saw a lottery number in my dream, and before I forget it, I need to write it down. After sending his father away, Max sighs, phew, that was close. Otherwise, the money I earned in a single day would have been gone, and I'd be poor again. Later, Max goes to the bank to open an account. Suddenly, his phone rings. It's Lenzia. Hello, Max. It's me, Lenzia. Max replies, that's fine, but how did you even get my number? She explains, I got it from Sarah. Are you free today? I need your help. Actually, my grandpa and sister already know you're my boyfriend. So, I need you to act for just one more day, so they'll continue believing it. Max thinks and says, why do I feel like you're trying to make me their real son-in-law? Look, yesterday I acted in front of normal friends, but pretending in front of your whole family is a completely different matter. I'm still in school, I have no interest in becoming anyone's son-in-law. Besides, your grandpa will treat me like a beggar, and I really don't like that. Lenzia insists, don't make excuses. If you act for just one day, I can give you a 20,000 yuan in return. Shocked, Max thinks, for these rich people, 20,000 yuan is such a small thing. My dad would have to take a loan just for one. My dignity tells me I shouldn't cheat anyone by acting, but because I'm poor, I have no choice but to bow down to money. This system wants to turn me into a fraud, and my bad luck keeps making me greedy. I'm getting trapped by these people. Finally, he says, Lenzia, it's not about money. You seem like a good person. That's why I'll act for you. As for payment, will you give me cash or send it online? The thing is, our accounts should always be clear. Money should never come between friends. Lenzia smiles. All right then, I'll come to pick you up in an hour. Please wear some decent clothes. An hour later, Lenzia arrives to pick him up. Seeing Max's clothes, she exclaims, what on earth are you wearing? Max answers, you told me to wear something nice and expensive. But when I looked in my wardrobe, I didn't find anything suitable to wear to your house. So, I rented this outfit for 1,000 yuan. Lenzia shakes her head. You rented this? I have to say, Max, you look like a New Year firecracker. That yellow shiny jacket is so bright it hurts my eyes. My grandpa is really old. If he sees you wearing this, he might drop dead on the spot. Worse, he might start doubting my choices. So, I'll buy you something else to wear. Max frowns. Are you making fun of me? Why do I feel like you don't actually like my yellow jacket? Lenzia replies. Why yellow? If you'd worn dark pink, you would have looked much better. The scene shifts. They arrive at a mall. Lenzia says, I'll go park the car. In the meantime, you go inside. Listen, this mall has 2 sections, casual wear and high-end clothing. You go straight to the high-end section. And please, don't buy anything based on your own choice. If you like anything in red or yellow, ask the staff first. They'll help you pick something better. Following her advice, Max enters the store. A salesgirl approaches him and asks, what kind of clothes are you looking for? Max replies, I'm going to meet my girlfriend's family, so I need something really impressive. The salesgirl, instead of taking him to the high-end section, brings him to the casual area. Showing him some outfits, she says, these kinds of clothes are usually liked by girls' families. I can guarantee your girlfriend's family will be happy if you wear this. Max says, my girlfriend's family is actually rich. They won't like these kinds of clothes. I need high-end ones. The salesgirl frowns and says, even if your girlfriend's family is rich, you look very poor. Just looking at your face, I doubt you could even afford these casual clothes. So, I have no interest in wasting time with you in the high-end department. Customers like you are always a problem. Even when we staff members try to treat you well, you make it impossible. I showed you many nice suits within your budget, things you could actually afford, but you acted in such a way that now I have to talk about your real status. Either you walk out of the store yourself, or I'll have you thrown out. Do you really think someone in a cheap yellow jacket like you can buy clothes here? Max said. What do you mean these clothes are beyond my status? Are you underestimating me? The salesgirl replied. I'm not underestimating you. I'm just showing you reality. What's the point of looking at clothes you couldn't afford even in 4 lifetimes? It's better if you just leave quietly. Max shot back. With staff this rude, who would even want to buy clothes here? Where's your manager? Who's the fool that hired people like you? Call him here. I want to see how you still have the guts to talk like this after that. Just then, an older woman walked in and said, Jiao Yan, looks like another poor man is causing trouble here. Why do you even waste time on these beggars? Just throw them out. The salesgirl Jiao Yan replied, Mrs. Qin, please don't bother with them. Come, I'll show you the new collection. This time, the high-end department has some amazing outfits. Hearing this, Max thought, after all this humiliation, there's no way I'm leaving empty-handed. I have 20,000 yuan. With that, I can buy new clothes and show them my real worth. Today, she dared to mock my status. I'll prove her wrong. Determined, he followed them into the high-end section. Mrs. Qin glanced back nervously and whispered, Jiao Yan, why is this poor guy following us? Don't tell me he's attracted to my amazing figure. That must be why he's trailing us. Honestly, I'm scared of him. Jiao Yan laughed and said, it's not his fault, you're such a beauty. If a beauty like you walks on the streets, crowds would follow you. So of course, it's natural for random men like him to trail behind. Mrs. Qin smirked, you're absolutely right. They entered the store. The salesgirl showed Mrs. Qin a suit and said, this will definitely look stunning on your husband. Max grabbed the suit and said, I'd like to see this one too. Mrs. Qin shrieked, you dirty poor man. How dare you touch my husband's suit? You'll contaminate it. Max glared at her, lady, stay in your limits before I break your teeth. I'm taking this suit because I like it, and I plan to buy it myself. Mrs. Qin burst out laughing, this is the funniest joke of the year. How could someone as poor as you afford what my husband wears? Do you even know the price? Max looked at the tag and froze in shock. 1 lakh yuan? I thought my few thousand made me rich. What, is this suit embroidered with diamonds? He thought to himself, seriously, the rich are fools. Spending this much money on a piece of clothing. Mrs. Qin was about to insult him again when suddenly, Lenzia appeared. Pig-faced woman, how dare you speak to my boyfriend like that? A pathetic creature like you dares to insult him? Seeing her, Mrs. Qin almost fainted. You're Miss Lenzia from the Len family? Lenzia smirked, correct. And your husband manages accounts for our family, doesn't he? That's the problem with people like you. Give you a little money, and you think you're floating in the air. You've earned so much from my family, and now you dare to call my boyfriend poor? If he's poor, then by that logic, I must be poor too. Go ahead, insult me as well. Just now your tongue was sharp like scissors. Terrified, Mrs. Qin stammered, forgive me, young Mississippi. I didn't know he was your boyfriend. I would never have spoken that way otherwise. Lenzia picked up the suit. This suit costs just 1 lakh, right? You were mocking him over it? Fine. She spat on the suit and said, now your husband will wear the suit, and if you value his job, don't you dare clean it. From now on, whenever there's an important meeting or event, he'll wear this exact suit, so both of you always remember your true status. Mrs. Qin bowed her head. trembling, "Please, young miss, forgive me. I'll never behave like this again." Turning to the salesgirl, Lenzia said coldly, "And now it's your turn. You're fired. From today, you don't need to work here anymore. Keeping trash like you only brings the company down." The salesgirl panicked. "Please, Miss Lenzia, forgive me. I didn't know he was your boyfriend. If I had, I'd never have behaved this way. Who in their right mind would dare offend the company?" Max, stunned, thought to himself, "So this store, where suits cost 100,000 yuan, it belongs to Lenzia. Now I finally understand where the rich get their endless money from." Smiling, Lenzia said to Max, "Come, I'll help you pick something. And remember, today I saved your dignity. So when you meet my family, you'd better perform just as well." The scene shifts. We see San talking to her secretary. "Today we have a very important meeting. Inform our supervisor to arrive on time. We need to discuss the new construction site design." Just then, her phone rang. It was Ding Zhu. "Miss San, you requested an engineer from our company to explain the new building project. But there's been a problem, and we had to replace him. The new engineer doesn't speak English. He's from Ethiopia. So you'll need to hire a translator." San was shocked. "What are you saying? You know how critical this new building project is. I need everything explained clearly today. And now you're telling me the engineer is Ethiopian? Where am I supposed to find a translator on such short notice?" Ding Zhu said, "Forgive me, but I'm just an employee. My job is only to inform you, and I've done that. You already know that the world's best engineers work in our company, and whenever our engineers are attached to a project, its value multiplies 100 times. The engineer we've sent is also world-class, but he doesn't know English. You'll have to find some way to get things translated." San thought to herself, "I'm building the country's biggest mall. The shareholders had clearly said they'd only invest if the world's best engineers designed it. To contact such engineers, I reached out to Chutian's family, and they connected us to this company. But now that Lenzia's engagement has broken, they've deliberately changed the engineer, sending one we can't communicate with, hoping today's meeting will be cancelled. When the shareholders learn that top engineers aren't really working on this, they'll refuse to invest. Truly, the Chen family has pulled a very dirty trick. They want us to suffer a massive loss. If only we had a human translator, this problem would be solved easily. But where can I possibly find someone who knows the Ethiopian language? It's one of the hardest languages in the world. Maybe no one in the whole country even knows it." While San was deep in thought, her phone rang. It was Lenzia. "Hello, sister. You mentioned you wanted to meet Max. I've brought him with me." San replied, "Lenzia, I'm stuck in a difficult situation. Could you take Max out for dinner or something? When I'm free, I'll definitely meet him." Lenzia asked, "What happened, sister? Is there a big problem at the company?" San explained, "You remember our project, right? The biggest mall in the country. For that, we hired the world's top engineers. The issue is that the chief engineer is from Ethiopia, and he doesn't know English. That's why we need someone who can speak Ethiopian. If we can't communicate with him properly today, then tomorrow, in the shareholders' meeting, I won't have anything to present. If we don't secure investment, this project will suffer huge losses, and we might not even be able to continue it." Lenzia said, "But our company is an international one. Isn't there really no one here who knows Ethiopian? And the internet has developed so much, we could even use an online translator." San shook her head. "That's very difficult. Finding a human translator who actually knows Ethiopian is nearly impossible in this country. And as for online translation, it's never accurate. Even a small mistake could cause losses worth billions." Max, listening, thought to himself, "Even such a big company struggles with language issues. The system has given me skills like driving and people finding. Then learning a language should be easy too." He asked, "Lenzia, Africa has more than 800 languages. The chief engineer coming to your company, can I know exactly which one he speaks?" Lenzia repeated the question to her sister. San answered, "The engineer speaks Amharic." Immediately, Max whispered to his system, "System, can you teach me this language?" The system replied, "For 10 energy points, I can let you speak it for 1 hour." Max said, "Fine, activate it as soon as I ask." Turning back, he told Lenzia, "You know, problems in the Roger family never fit together. That's the truth." Lenzia asked, "What do you mean?" Max smiled, "I mean, don't worry about the language. I'll handle it. I know Amharic." Surprised, Lenzia turned to her sister, "Sister, Max says he knows Amharic. Should I bring him to you? He might solve your problem." San was doubtful. Max really knows Amharic? Very few people in the world can speak it. And here, a high schooler is claiming he does. If he's lying, it could cause us massive losses. Refusing him outright might be safer than risking a mistranslation. But wait, maybe I should test him. I agree, if he's lying, it'll hurt our company. But at least I'll find out what kind of person my sister is spending time with. No contract, no matter how precious, is more important than my sister. If this boy is genuine, she'll gain a good partner and we'll save our billion-dollar contract. If he's faking, then I'll never allow him near her again. After all, if someone can lie about a language, he'll lie about anything in life. Then she said to her secretary, "All right, call the engineer in. We'll have the meeting now." A little later, the engineer arrived. He greeted them with, "Hello." The secretary froze and whispered to San, "I think he's asking for chips." San frowned, No. A senior engineer like him wouldn't be asking me for chips. He must be saying hello." The engineer shook hands with Miss San. Just then, Lenzia and Max entered the office. Lenzia said, "This is your human translator, Max D. Roger. He's here." The engineer looked at Lenzia and snapped, "You doggo." Lenzia thought, how dare he call me a dog? If he just insulted me in his language, I can answer him with 10 insults in mine. Then she turned to Max and said, "You speak Amharic, right? That man just called me a dog. Quickly tell me what he meant. If he called me a dog, I'll call him a black buffalo in return." Max replied, No, don't say anything yet. Wait 1 second while I activate my language module." After activating it, Max began speaking to the man. San was amazed. Can Max really talk to him? Does he actually know that language? Lenzia asked Max, "What did he mean by calling me a dog? Can I insult him back?" Max answered, "No, when he said doggo he actually meant that you were very beautiful. He was paying you a compliment." Lenzia said, "Oh, so that's what it meant? Well then, you're a big dog yourself." San said, "Okay, enough small talk. Let's start the meeting." Mr. Vendong stepped forward and explained the entire building design to them. He described how, in the future, the building would become a major tourist landmark. Thanks to Max's excellent translation, the meeting wrapped up in 40 minutes and they successfully finished for the day. As they left, Mr. Vendong said to Max, "Mr. Max, I wanted to tell you something. I'm very happy I met you. It's rare to find someone speaking our language outside Ethiopia. Honestly, meeting someone like you is a great honor. If you ever get the chance, please come to Ethiopia. Our language and culture are wonderful. I'll give you the same warm welcome there that you gave me here." Max replied, "Sure, if I ever get the chance, I will definitely come." Then Ding Zhu asked Max, "Where are you working now?" Max whispered to his system, "Convert the language to French quickly." Then he answered in French, "I'm still in high school. This year I'll be joining college." Lenzia said, "Max is incredible. He speaks French in addition to Amharic." San thought, "I always worried my sister couldn't pick a good partner, but if this man is with her, I don't need to worry. He's 1,000 times better than I expected." After the visitors left, Lenzia asked, "Sister, tell me, what do you think of my boyfriend?" San said, "I like him, but I won't flatter him too much. After all, he's only a high schooler." Then San said, "From my side it's okay, but you two need to meet Grandpa." Max was shocked. "Do I have to meet the head of the Len family? And what did she mean when she said she liked me? I feel like I'm getting trapped in Lenzia's plan. I hope this doesn't end with money and marriage forcing me into something I didn't want." San reassured him, "Look how surprised Max is. Don't worry, we both like you. We won't pressure you. You don't have to meet Grandpa today. Meet him when you're ready. And Max, remember one thing. I consider Lenzia like my child, so it's your responsibility to take care of our Lenzia." Max said, "Yes, of course, I'll take good care of her." Secretary's son joked, "Our young miss grew up fast. She came with a boyfriend today. Her wedding will be next." San agreed, "Yes. I'm glad Lenzia chose a really good person. Cancel all the business contracts we had with that Chutian. We don't need ties with that fool. If our future is Max D. Roger, I guarantee our future will be bright." After that, Max went to school thinking the day had been unusually peaceful. Zia asked him, "Will you come with me to the spring festival on Saturday?" Max replied, "Yes, I plan to go. The festival will be fun." Zia says, "Please don't bring food. I'll bring something for you. Also, I didn't thank you properly for saving me last time." Max said, "Really, President, you're amazing." At that moment Finn came over and teased, "I've seen many traitors, but I never thought you'd be one." Max asked, "Finn, why are you so annoyed with me? What have I done now?" Finn replied, "A girl in a Ferrari was waiting for you outside school. You picked up a Ferrari girl and didn't tell me." Max was shocked, "A Ferrari? So Lenzia came to school? Why did she come?" "I told her not to." Finn said, "You charmed such a rich girl and didn't even think to tell me. Maybe she had an assistant. Introduce me to her." Zia, annoyed, added, "She's a rich girl. She's dating Max. She likes him so much she came to school for him." Max thought, Zia is a treasure trove of energy points for me. If she gets angry, I'll never get energy points from her. I'll have to calm her down. Max explained, "I'm not actually dating Lenzia. Her grandfather's heart is weak and he thinks I'm her boyfriend. If he finds out we broke up or I'm not with her, he might have a heart attack. So, to save one life, I'm pretending to be her boyfriend, Zia says. But why does her grandpa think you're her boyfriend? You must have done something. Max replies, no, it's actually a very long story. Just then, Max's phone rings. He thinks, I hope this isn't Lenzia's call. But it was Lenzia. She says, Max, why aren't you replying to my messages? Come on, let's go out. Tonight I'll take you to eat the best food in the city. Max answers, no, I really need to study tonight. And anyway, did you forget? We're just a fake couple. Why should we even spend time together? Lenzia responds, look, I know your grades are excellent. Missing one night of study won't affect you, but you don't understand how dangerous my family can be. If you don't spend time with me, they'll definitely start suspecting us. Once I convince them, I won't bother you anymore. Max thinks, when will her family's suspicion ever end? I don't even know what to call this whole act anymore. I really need to come up with a perfect excuse somehow. At that moment, Teacher Tian arrives and says to Finn, didn't you tell me you could fix my computer? I was on my way home. Can you repair it for me? Max quickly interrupts, Miss Tian, I'll help you. I'm really good at fixing and cleaning computers. He then turns to Lenzia and says, I need to help my teacher, so I can't come with you. He hangs up the call. Teacher Tian asks, Max, do you really know how to fix computers? Max replies, yes, I used to work at a computer shop as an assistant, so I know how to handle these things. Smirking, Finn says, look at this kid. He's already caught the attention of a rich girl, the campus beauty, and now even a teacher. He won't leave anyone alone. Max snaps back, Finn, stop your nonsense. I respect the teacher. Teacher Tian says, if there are two people helping, the work will be much easier. Later, they arrive at Teacher Tian's home. Finn comments, this is the first time I've been inside a young lady's home. It's beautiful, and it smells so nice in here. Max feels embarrassed standing next to Finn, thinking, it's a good thing that my ChatGPT system isn't with Finn, otherwise, this idiot would have caused chaos across the whole city by now. Teacher Tian says, you two probably haven't had dinner yet. Should I order something? Max replies, no need, teacher. We'll finish the work quickly. Besides, we ate a heavy lunch today. Looking at the screen, Finn says, the whole display has turned blue. At first, I thought the system had crashed, but now it looks like the motherboard is the problem. Meanwhile, Max notices some clothes lying on the side and thinks, these are the same clothes the girl I kissed that day was wearing. That means, Miss Tian is that girl. My suspicion was right all along. Just then, Miss Tian comes back with tea. Max thinks, she's been pretending like nothing ever happened since that day. Standing up, Max says, Miss Tian, I need to ask you something. Finn interrupts, what is it? Tell us quickly. Max replies, mind your own work, Finn. I need to talk to Miss Tian privately. Once alone, Max says, Miss Tian, the day you came to our campus, I accidentally kissed a girl. That girl was you, wasn't it? Miss Tian responds, so you finally admit you did it on purpose? Max pleads, no, please forgive me. You were wearing the school uniform that day, so I didn't realize you were a teacher. I honestly thought you were a student. I even believe the girl I kissed must have been your younger sister. I had no idea it was you. Miss Tian asks, what do you mean by that? If I had a younger sister, you wouldn't have let her go either? Max panics, no, it wasn't like that. It was a complete mistake. Miss Tian softens, I know you didn't do it intentionally. It was just an accident, and I've already forgotten about it. You should forget it too. Max smiles, still, I must say, you looked really cute in that uniform. Miss Tian playfully pinches him and says, I forgive you, and you immediately start flirting? Don't think that I don't know about your deeds. I even saw that girl in the Ferrari. Max insists, she's not even my girlfriend. Later, Max and Finn return to school. Finn says, I secretly overheard your conversation with the teacher. You rascal, you're not just after a rich girl and the campus beauty, but even a teacher, and you kissed her too without telling me. Max replies, you've been hitting me all the way back from Miss Tian's house, and now you expect me to tell you everything? Just then, as they enter the classroom, they're shocked to see Lenzia waiting there. Lenzia says, finally, you came back. Since you didn't come to me, I had no choice but to come to you. I'm sure you're very happy to see me. Surprised, Max says, Lenzia, what are you doing at my school? Without answering, Lenzia steps forward, takes a selfie with Max, and immediately posts it with a flashy caption. Lenzia says, on Saturday, there's a fashion festival. You don't need to study on the weekend. Come with me to the festival. Zia walked over just in time and said firmly, but Max is already going with me to the spring festival. Lenzia, unfazed, smiled sweetly. Ah, you must be class president Zia, right? You're so cute. No wonder those gangsters tried to kidnap you. Well, if you two are going to the festival, then that's fine. I'll come along too. Surely our dear Zia won't mind. Zia hesitated but finally nodded. I don't mind, Zia replied. Perfect, then I'll join you this weekend. Oh, and Max, since you don't like driving my Ferrari, I'm buying a cheaper car just for you. From now on, no more showing off. Max sighed inwardly. A Ferrari replaced with a cheap car worth millions? That's still showing off. Your grandpa might not be watching all this, but the people who are, they won't let me leave here alive. Even your cheap car probably costs millions. Zia only laughed, waving goodbye. Alright then, I'll see you on the weekend. The next morning, Max noticed Zia avoiding him. She hasn't spoken to me since yesterday. She must really be upset about Zia showing up. Trying to break the silence, he asked, Zia, should we buy strawberries for cooking at the spring festival? Zia replied curtly, if you want, go ahead. These days you do whatever you like anyway. Max winced. Was that sarcasm? Looks like she's still angry. But I can't distance myself from Zia either. I need those energy points. Finn strolled up, grinning. So it's true, guys lose their minds over girls. My cheerful buddy has turned into a gloomy statue. Forget it, man. Drop the girl drama. Max muttered. If I could, I would, but I haven't even done anything wrong. I don't even know what Zia and Zia have against each other. Finn chuckled. If two girls were fighting over me, I'd be the happiest guy alive. But look at you, it's like having pizza in one hand and a burger in the other, and still worrying about which to eat. Meanwhile, I've got nothing, and yet I'm happier than you. Max gave a tired smile. I wish I had your simple life. No drama, no pressure. Still, at least my hard work will get me into a good college. What about you? Which one are you picking? Finn shrugged. I'll find some specialist college. But what about you? Max smirked. Did you forget? I'm the district topper. I can get in anywhere I want. Finn scowled. So you're trying to humiliate me, whether it's colleges or girls. You've got options everywhere. Tell me the truth. Do you have some kind of system helping you? Otherwise, how did you go from last ranker to topper overnight? Max stiffened. System? He's too close to the truth. Aloud he said quickly, don't be ridiculous. There's no such thing. You just have to work hard. Finn shot back. Keep lying if you want, but I'll find out your secret. Spider bite, lightning strike, system, whatever, I'll figure out how you became so amazing. Max sighed inwardly. Even I don't know how I got this power. How could he possibly find out? Impossible. Before their conversation could continue, a commotion drew their attention. A crowd had gathered up ahead. Finn's eyes lit up. Looks like a fight. Let's go. I love watching street fights. Max thought in relief. Good, this will distract him from questioning me. As they pushed through the crowd, they saw a construction worker arguing with a man in a suit. We're building this road for the government, that's why these bricks are here. The suited man snapped. If bricks are piled near the casino, it looks terrible. Move them immediately. The worker shot back. This is government property, not your father's. No matter what you do, these bricks aren't moving. The man smirked. Last warning. Move them, or you'll regret it. The worker crossed his arms. Do whatever you want. I'm not moving anything. The man squared his shoulders. You don't know who you're dealing with. I'm a black belt in Kung Fu. I may look skinny, but when I strike, men don't just fall, they fly. Finn, thrilled, shouted, prove it. With that body, no one will believe you know martial arts. Max groaned. Finn, you're just adding fuel to the fire. But the casino owner, now fired up, charged forward and threw a punch. To everyone's shock, the worker didn't even flinch. Instead, the owner cried out in pain, clutching his hand. The crowd laughed. Finn burst out, see? He was bluffing. Threw a punch and hurt himself. Max, however, watched carefully. No, this worker isn't ordinary. He definitely knows martial arts. And this fight is about to get serious. Casino owner, he says, even if my hand doesn't work, this brick will definitely work. But just before he can strike, the construction worker's elder brother arrives and beats up the casino owner. The elder brother shouts, since we left the village, no one has ever dared to trouble my brother. Back there, we had a master who beat us so hard that we became tougher than iron. But ever since we left him, no one has had the courage to mess with us. And you, fool, you dare to lay a hand on my brother? The casino owner, panting angrily, replies, I don't care who you are, but you cannot create trouble in my casino. He signals his guards, and a group of them rush outside. Finn mutters, looks like this is turning into a real fight. Max replies sarcastically, Finn, your words really have power. You just said it, and look, it's happening. Now let's see how long Bolu and Dala can hold their ground. But soon, it becomes clear that Dalu and Bolu are struggling. Max think to myself, these brothers have decent martial arts skills, but fighting against so many people at once isn't easy. And these guards, they're no ordinary men, they look ruthless. I may have to step in. Max turns to Finn, call the police quickly. Then he walks forward and tells the casino owner, "Don't fight here. Someone could get badly hurt." The casino owner sneers, "And who are you to give me this nonsense?" In a flash, Max draws power from within, stomps the ground, and cracks it with a single kick. "I said, there will be no fighting here." The display of power terrifies the guards, and they scatter. Max approaches the brothers. "Stand up," Dala says gratefully. "Thank you so much for helping us. Where did you learn such martial arts?" Max replies calmly, "I don't practice martial arts. I gave it up when I was just 8 years old. Anyway, I've already reported these men to the police. Don't worry, nothing will happen to you. Security cameras show that these men started the fight, so if the police come, they'll compensate you for your injuries." But at the mention of the police, both brothers grow pale. Dala pleads, "Please, don't call the police. I'm terrified of them." Max frowns and asks Bolu, "Why is your brother so afraid of the police?" Bolu begins to explain, "Years ago, back in our village, we trained under a master who made us strong. My brother later moved to the city to work as a bodyguard. To prove himself, he displayed his skills wherever he could. One day, he saw some criminals robbing a man and ran to stop them. He defeated them and returned the stolen goods, but just then, the police arrived. Instead of thanking him, they jailed him for 5 years. He wasn't even at fault. Since then, we left our village and came here, searching for work. And now, just hearing the word police terrifies him." Max listens carefully and reassures them, "You've already suffered too much. Don't worry, this city's police aren't that corrupt. If you've done good, they'll support you. If you've done wrong, then yes, you'll be punished. But the innocent don't suffer here as often." Later, Max takes them to the police station. Officer Wang greets him, "Max, what brings you here?" Max explains everything, the fight at the casino and how the guards beat up the two brothers. Officer Wang examines them and says, "They really are injured. Who exactly were these attackers?" Max replies, "They claimed to be the casino owner's bodyguards, but they fled as soon as I stepped in." Soon after, Officer Wang raids the casino. The casino owner tries to defend himself. "We were only doing our job. Those workers were the ones who caused trouble." Officer Wang glares at him, "So because they were workers, you think you can beat them up? Looks like your underworld connections have made you arrogant enough to thrash anyone in public. Take him away, we'll interrogate him properly." As the police drag the owner into a vehicle, Finn whispers, "Max, we should head back to school. Lunch must be over, and everyone's probably looking for us." Max shakes his head, "The police need our help right now. And honestly, sitting in class isn't half as fun as this." A little later, Officer Wang informs them, "Everything is clear now. That casino owner was arrogant and corrupt, always hiring thugs to flaunt his power. But now that he's been punished, he won't try anything like this again. As for you, Dalu and Bolu, you'll receive 3,000 yuan in compensation for your injuries. Use it for your treatment." Max smiles, "See, Dalu, the police gave you justice. Accept it." Finn beams, "We really did a good thing today." Max asks the brothers, "So, will you go to the hospital now? There's a really good one nearby." Dalu laughs, "Don't worry. These injuries may look serious, but they're not. Back when we trained under our master, he beat us far worse than this, and we still survived. So this is nothing. But Max, you've helped us so much. Let us at least treat you to a meal as thanks." Finn cheers, "Then what are we waiting for? I'm starving." Bolu adds, "There's a restaurant nearby. A full meal there costs only 300 yuan, and we have 3,000. The four of us can easily eat to our heart's content." But Max stops them, "No, don't waste this money. It's for your treatment. A treat isn't that important." Bola says, "Because of you, our fear of the police is gone. Please, don't refuse this." Finn answers, "Yes, you're absolutely right. Spend all the money if you want. So what are we waiting for? Let's hurry to the restaurant." They walk into the restaurant. Finn says, "I've never been to such a fancy place before." Max glances around and cautions, "Our clothes are a little too casual for this place. I hope we don't get into trouble because of how we're dressed." Just then, Lenzia approaches. "Max, I asked you to come to the same restaurant before, but you refused. Now I want to see what beauties you brought with you." Max replies, "They aren't beauties, they're my friends." Lenzia teasingly misreads the situation. "Now I understand why you aren't interested in me. Your taste is different. You like a different kind of person." Max tries to defuse it. "Lenzia, you're misunderstanding. These are my friends, and they're martial artists." Dalu and Bola demonstrate some moves for Lenzia. She was impressed. "Those are amazing tricks." Max laughs, "Come on, stop exaggerating. Now do you believe me? I'm not into guys. My friends only brought me here to treat me because I helped them earlier." Lenzia smiles. "You two have excellent composure. You do well beyond manual labor. I heard you were looking for bodyguard work. Do one thing, meet my sister tomorrow. She might hire you as bodyguards." The brothers said, Thank you, sister-in-law. Max grins and asks, who told you to call her sister-in-law? Finn chimes in, sister-in-law, I need a job too. I'm not great at studies. I won't get into a top university, and without work I can't earn money. Your company is big. If I get even a small position there, my life would change. Lenzia nods. Alright, I'll speak to her. They arrive at Lenzia's shopping mall. Jiao Yan greets them. Mr. Max, how did you end up here today? Jiao Yan will take good care of you. Max thinks to himself that Lenzia seems kind. She didn't turn him away. He tells Jiao Yan, get my friends some ordinary clothes. But then Jiao Yan realizes these are Max's friends, and they certainly won't wear ordinary clothes. So she dresses them in high-end suits. Max protests. There was no need to buy 100,000 yuan suits. Some casual clothes would have been fine. Jiao Yan smiles. You'll be part of our Len family. Everything here will belong to you. Your friends will look high-end because of you. Then, Max arrives at the Len Corporation building and finds the automatic door won't open. This door is automatic. Why won't it open today? Finn guesses. Maybe the system recognizes faces. Last time it opened because of Lenzia. But she's not here now, so it won't open. Bolu says, no need to call security. I'll just open it by hand. Max warns, don't. It's an automatic door. If you try, they'll break your hand. But Bolu smashes the gate anyway. The security system activates and guards quickly surround them. Max worries inwardly that they might get into trouble. Secretary Sun arrives and asks, what's going on here? A security guard explains that someone tried to force the door open. Secretary Sun recognizes them. Max, are you here? Max replies, Chief Secretary, I'm sorry. I brought my friends for interviews, and the door accidentally got broken. Secretary Sun says, Lenzia told me your friends would come. I'm shocked they could break an automatic door by hand. That requires tremendous strength. Come with me. I'll take you to Miss San. In the office, Max introduces them. These are Dalu and Bolu. They're here to become bodyguards. Miss San says, Max recommended you, so I need to see what abilities you have. If you're Max's friends, you can't be ordinary. You should be a step above ordinary. Dalu and Bola demonstrate their internal strength and explain, a bodyguard's main job is to protect their employer. If a bodyguard isn't great at attacking, that's okay, but defense must be top-notch. That's our specialty. We can bear 1,000 tons on our bodies. Secretary Sun asks them to show what they can do. He reveals that he has practiced martial arts for 30 years. He's an assistant to the chief and also a bodyguard. If these two can withstand his attack, they are qualified. Sun demonstrates an attack using his Buddha palm technique. Dalu and Bolu absorb the blows, taking the assault on their bodies. Secretary Sun was impressed. They handled my attack easily. Their stamina is truly exceptional. They're fully qualified to be security guards. Miss San says, I like your attitude. Here are your contracts with our Len Corporation. Bolu was stunned. Our 1-year salary is 100,000. Both brothers bow and say, thank you so much for supporting us. We would give our lives for you without a second thought. If ever a bullet is fired with your name on it, it will pass through Dalu and Bola first. Miss San said, you're talking as if I'm some underworld don. You don't need to play with bullets here. Your job is simply to work as ordinary security guards. Finn interrupts, President San, you gave them jobs, but you didn't give me one. San looks at him curiously. And who are you? Finn replies, didn't Miss Lenzia tell you about me? San shakes her head. No, she only mentioned 2 strong-looking brothers, not a skinny, weak-looking boy like you. Finn protests. No, I look better than average. And besides, I'm Max's best friend. What's the point of him being the son-in-law of such a big company if you people can't even give me a job? San sighs. Fine. Tell me, what qualifications do you have? Since you're Max's friend, I can at least give you a chance. Finn admits, honestly, I don't have any qualifications, but I'm going to take the entrance exams soon, and I'll definitely pass. San replies firmly, so, in other words, you have no educational qualifications yet. From your body, you look tough, so let's test you with the Security Sun's trial. Secretary Sun immediately steps forward and strikes Finn with a powerful blow, sending him flying in one hit. Secretary Sun scolds, you'll have to work much harder, boy. You need to build yourself first. Without real capability, you can't get a job anywhere, even if your friend were the president himself. San turns to Max, even though this advice was for your friend, you should also pay attention. I know you're a high school student. I expect you to focus on your studies properly, as a student should. Look, our Len family business is vast. If you really become our son-in-law, you won't just enjoy its benefits, you'll also shoulder its responsibilities. Every member of our family is an asset to the company. I am, Lenzia is, and I hope that one day when you join us, you too will be a valuable asset. Max nods seriously. Yes, I understand. He thinks to himself, her aura is incredible. Just being around her motivates me. That day, because of her sister, she behaved differently, but her true character is intense and commanding. Later, Max tells the brothers, "You two can work here peacefully. I've already spoken to Mr. Wong to investigate your old case. I want to find out who caused that trouble for your brother." Dalu and Bola bow their heads gratefully. "Brother, we will never forget the favors you've done for us. One day, we'll definitely repay you." Outside, Max says, "Well, at least one thing is settled. But Finn, are you okay? You look awful." Finn groans dramatically. "I came back from the brink of death. Do you know, when that old man punched me, I thought my heart would jump out of my mouth. I'm still in so much pain." "Max, you've got superpowers, right? Come on, heal me quickly." Max shakes his head. "Finn, you've completely lost it. You need to stop reading those silly novels." Max thinks silently. He's been with me so long that he knows I'm hiding something. He knows my power didn't come from training, it just appeared suddenly. Should I tell him the truth? Or should I keep it secret? Honestly, I don't even know where this power came from myself. Maybe it's better not to reveal it yet. Max says aloud, "My friend, there are some secrets I can't tell you right now. But one day, I promise, I will." Finn sighs. "Alright, I won't bring it up again. Still, it sucks that you can't heal me. That's just useless." Max replies, "Go home and rest. Tomorrow, we have to go to the spring festival." The next day, Max was sleeping at home when a loud car horn jolts him awake. Annoyed, he mutters, "Who's the idiot honking so loudly outside?" From outside, Lenzia calls out, "Sorry, Max. I didn't know these cheap cars had such loud horns." Max gets up. "So it's you, Lenzia. Wait, I'll be out in a second." As he leaves, his mom teases him, "You've been getting close with girls lately, haven't you?" Max protests, "She's just my classmate. She came to pick me up." His mom raises an eyebrow. "She looks much older than you. And don't get too friendly with so many girls." Waving goodbye to his mom, Max joins Lenzia outside. Lenzia asks, "So, where are we going now?" Max replies, "My classmates rented a bus, so we're going to join them." Lenzia pouts, "But I got this car especially for the occasion. Do I really have to go on a bus now?" Max explains, "For the spring festival, we're going a little outside the city. It'll take a 2-hour drive. Do you really want to waste 2 hours driving? Besides, you know the fun of a picnic is going together in a bus. The time flies with friends around." Lenzia smiles softly. "When I was a child, I went on picnics too, but never without security. I always had guards with me. This will really be a new experience for me." When they reach the bus stop, Finn complains, "Lenzia, you didn't speak up for me. Do you know how hard your secretary hit me?" Lenzia said, "I did try to find you a job, but how can there be one for someone who doesn't know how to do anything and can't handle any work? That's why I couldn't help you." After Zia arrives, everyone gets ready to leave. They reach their destination, Kinshan Mountain. Finn exclaims, "Today, we'll really enjoy ourselves. We'll have a barbecue party. The boys will cut firewood, and the girls will cook. We're going to eat some amazing food today." Lenzia laughs, "You should have just told me. I could have brought delicious 5-star meals. Then we wouldn't have to go through all this trouble here." Finn teases, "Ah, I forgot. You're so much richer than us. This must look less like a party to you and more like a poor man's roadside stall. Anyway, girls, wash the vegetables. We guys are off to cut wood." Lenzia thinks to herself, "I never imagined I'd have to do such things in my life." Zia scolds her, "What are you staring at? Hurry up and start washing them." When Lenzia sees worms crawling on an onion, she panics. Zia kills it and remarks, "You've never done housework before, have you? Your face shows you don't know anything about this kind of work." Lenzia thinks, "This is the first time in my life someone has told me I don't know how to do anything." Honestly, maybe she dislikes me because of Max. Still, there's no use arguing. I'll just do the work slowly. I only need to take a picture of this picnic and send it to Grandpa. He should believe I'm spending proper time with Max. After all, in this entire forest, there are only 4 of us. And Max is even pretending to be my boyfriend. But, what if that pretend relationship turns into reality? Blushing, she catches herself. Wait, what am I thinking? I can't really have feelings for Max. Lenzia walks over to Max. He asks, "What's wrong? Do you need something?" She answers, "I'm not used to being in the forest. I just came here to take a few photos. Once I get some pictures, I'll leave." Max smiles, "That's fine. Taking photos isn't a problem, let's do it." Lenzia points, "We should go up to that temple. It's a perfect location for photos." She thinks to herself, "I said it aloud, but that temple is in a very secluded place." Max suggests, "What's the matter? Having trouble climbing? We can take pictures by the river too, the shots there will also look great." But Lenzia insists, "No, the view from the mountain top will be much better." As they climb together, Lenzia feels her heart pounding. Why is my heart racing so much? Am I overthinking things? Asterisk Max turns back. What's wrong, Lenzia? Why are you walking so slowly? She replies, sorry, I got lost in thought. Just then, they notice Zia following behind them. Max asks, Zia, what are you doing here? Zia, annoyed, says, I should be asking you too. What exactly are you doing here? Max explains, didn't I tell you before? Lenzia and I are pretending to be boyfriend and girlfriend. That's why we came up here, to take pictures on the mountain. Blushing, Lenzia thinks, why do I suddenly feel like I'm being caught between two lovebirds? I'm the young miss of the Len family. This girl has no right to treat me like this. Maybe I should make things clear right now. Just as she's about to speak, Lenzia slips, falls, and faints. When she opens her eyes again, it's raining heavily. Max says, after you fainted, a downpour started. That's why we had to stay here. Lenzia replies softly, at least we're not getting soaked, it's not so bad. Max asks with concern, you're not hurt, are you? She shakes her head, no, I can handle this much. Meanwhile, Zia grows furious watching them. She suddenly complains, Max, my ankle twisted too. Could you please check it for me? Max examines her foot and says, it doesn't seem that serious. Lenzia thinks angrily, so this girl is challenging me now. Then she declares, my head hurts a lot, I'm feeling sleepy. She leans on Max's shoulder and falls asleep. Not wanting to be outdone, Zia adds, my foot still hurts. I'll sleep too. Now trapped between them, Max thinks, what are these two even doing? Still, at least I'm getting energy points. Otherwise, I'd have left already. Honestly, this situation is benefiting me. But why are these girls behaving like this? Meanwhile, on the other side, we see Finn chopping firewood all alone. He muttered, where did Max and those two girls disappear to? When he finally reached the temple, he saw both girls asleep on Max's shoulders. Max said, the rain has stopped, wake up quickly. But Finn teased, no, don't mind me. You all just continue whatever you were doing. Scene shifts to Max's house, and Aunt was talking to Max's mom. Your son turned out to be something amazing. Who would have thought a boy from our neighborhood would catch such a big fish? Max's mom frowned. What do you mean by that? The aunt replied, why are you pretending? Don't you know about your son's girlfriend? Surprised, Max's mom said, girlfriend? Max never told me anything about having a girlfriend. The aunt revealed, your son's girlfriend is the owner of Len Corporation. I didn't think he'd hide something this big from you, but the whole city already knows about it, except you. Later, when Max came home, his mom stopped him. Wait a second. Aunt Shin came by and told me everything, that you have a girlfriend. The entire city knows. Were you ever planning to tell me? Shocked, Max muttered, how did Aunt Shin even find out about this? Then to his mom he said, but mom, that rumor is completely false. Didn't I promise you that when I actually have a girlfriend, I'll tell you myself? His mom replied sternly, first you're asking how Aunt Shin found out, and then you're saying you don't even have a girlfriend. Which is it? Max tried to explain, I'm only pretending to be Lenzia's boyfriend so I can protect her from a certain troublemaker. That's all. But his mother didn't believe him. Max sighed, whether you believe me or not is up to you, but I know I haven't done anything wrong. Scene shifts to Liang's gang. The casino owner meets with Liang. Brother Liang, until today we never argued with you over protection fees. Whatever price you asked, we always paid. But now, in your area, my reputation has been crushed on the street. A mere high school kid made me get beaten up by a bunch of workers. If I don't take revenge, how can I run my casino with respect? Liang replied, your casino is in my territory, and in my territory, very few dare to cause trouble. Don't worry, whoever laid a hand on you has already signed his own death warrant. The casino owner nodded. I knew you would help me. I don't know that high schooler's name, but I do have his photo. Liang said coldly, show me. Let me see whose death is coming. When the owner handed over Max's photo, Liang's face changed immediately. You picked a fight with Max D. Roger? The casino owner asked, how do you know this guy's name? Liang, trying to cover, said, listen, Jiaju, we're badly injured right now. For the next 10 days, we can't fight at all. But after 10 days, we'll definitely take revenge on this boy. Jiaju mocked, why do all of your faces show fear after seeing just a high school kid's photo? Don't tell me it was this boy who made you all end up like this? Liang snapped, shut your mouth. Speak within your limits. You don't need to know what fight caused our condition. Just then, Liang's boss Penguin arrived. Liang, how did your whole gang get injured like this? Startled, Liang said, Boss Penguin, you here? Jiaju stammered, you must be Boss Penguin, the one who controls all 4 nearby districts. Brother Liang didn't help me even after I paid protection fees. But I trust you will. Penguin roared at Liang, you fool. What nonsense am I hearing? Do you know how many people are lined up for your job? I gave you this position because I thought you were capable, and now I hear my customers are dissatisfied because of you. Tell me, which bastard had the guts to anger my people? I won't spare him. Liang thought to himself, Boss Penguin is far too dangerous. If it were just me, I would have only beaten Max up and let him go. But this man, he'll kill him. No matter what, Max is still just a boy. I can't let them destroy him like this. Penguin shouted, why haven't you told me the name yet? Has my fear left your heart after being beaten once? Don't worry, I'll find out myself. But one thing is clear, you're not fit to be the leader of this gang. Scene shifted. We see Max showing Dalu and Bola their new house. Suddenly, he gets a call from Sarah, who tells him his father has been attacked and is in the hospital. Max rushes there and finds his father badly injured. Shocked, Max asks, Dad, what happened? His father explains, we were attacked by members of the Penguin gang. I tried to fight them off, but there were too many, and it's been a long time since I last fought. I couldn't hold up against their weapons. I don't even know why the Penguin gang is targeting us. Our Roger family cut ties with gangs long ago. Your grandfather especially had no grudges with them. Until things become clearer, stay hidden. Don't go to school or anywhere unnecessary. Your life is more important. If things get worse, I'll contact the rest of the Roger family for help. Max lowers his head. Dad, forgive me. This isn't happening because of you. It's because of me. Last time, I helped some people and ended up fighting members of that gang. Silver D. Roger says, my son, how could you make such a big mistake? Don't you realize how many sacrifices your father made just to leave behind gangs and crime? If I want to protect you from this gang, I'll be forced to return to my old one. And to pull you out of this mess, we'll both end up being trapped in it again. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't keep you away from the world of gangs. Max responds firmly, no, Dad. I won't let you walk down that path again. Since my childhood, you've worked so hard to keep me away from that life. If we rely on those people for survival now, then all of your efforts and sacrifices will be wasted. I promise you, I'll solve this matter, but in my own way. Just give me a few days. I'll handle it. I'll punish them so badly that from now on, they'll think 10 times before even hurting an ant, let alone a person. Silver D. Roger shakes his head. No, son. Don't go near those people. As Max leaves the hospital, he sees Penguin waiting outside. Penguin smirks. Must have felt terrible, seeing your father like that. Max, furious. You bastard. Who the hell are you to talk about my dad like that? Penguin laughs. You don't recognize me? I'm the one who put your father in that condition. I'll admit, even at his age, he fought impressively. It's the first time I've had to use so much strength against someone. Max clenches his fists. So it was you who attacked my father. Tell me, what reason did you have for going after him? Penguin sneers. Your weakness is your family. Touch them, and you lose control. For me, it's my customers who matter most. If I take their protection money but can't even protect them from some high school kid, why would they pay me? Your mistake was focusing on gangs instead of your studies. This world you stepped into, once you're in, there's no way out alive. Max glares at him, raising his stance. We'll see who walks out of here alive. Max launches a powerful attack, but Penguin skillfully blocks it. Penguin smirks again. For your age, your strength is impressive. But because of your lack of practice, your skills aren't refined. Penguin counters and attacks Max. But suddenly, Bola jumps in, taking the hit on himself. Despite his steel-like body, Bola collapses from just one strike. Penguin shakes his hand, wincing. His body was tough. My fingers are aching after that blow. Then Dala charges forward, restrains Penguin, and shouts to Max, now, attack him. Before Max can strike, Penguin hurls Dala straight into Max, knocking them both down. Max thinks, I knew this bald man would be a tough fighter. I have strength, but my lack of skill is holding me back. Time to move to Plan B. Just as Penguin is about to grab Max by the throat, Inspector Wong arrives. Inspector Wong declares, in my territory, no one lays a hand on Max. Penguin scoffs, I'm Penguin, the undisputed king of these 4 cities. As long as I'm here, I fear nothing. Not you, not even your chief. Even he would think 10 times before trying to shoot me. Wong aims his gun without hesitation. Maybe the chief would think twice. But me? Never. Take one more step, baldhead, and I'll empty this entire gun into your skull. You don't know. I'm the lion of this city. When I get serious, even the most powerful men tremble. And you? You're nothing. Penguin charges forward, snarling, Inspector, you've spoken far beyond your limits. But Inspector Wong shoots him in the leg. Wong warns, I told you, I don't make empty threats. Be grateful I shot you here, in front of a hospital. If it had been anywhere else, you'd already be dead. Penguin grits his teeth. Inspector, once I recover, I won't spare you. Max watches, impressed. Inspector Wong, you really are incredible. Scene shifts to police station. Inspector Wong addresses Max. You don't realize how big a criminal you helped us capture today. I've charged him with the attack on your family. Meanwhile, we're investigating his other crimes. If we find solid evidence, I'll make sure his entire gang is taken down. Turning to Dalu, Wang says, your old case is resolved too. 7 years ago, Penguin was involved in a theft. You were wrongly blamed and jailed for it. But now, all charges against you have been cleared. Don't worry. Once the investigation is complete, I'll also ensure you receive compensation for the injustice you suffered. Dalu bows gratefully, officer, thank you very much. Later, Max returns to his father. Max says, Dad, the man who attacked you was Penguin, who has been arrested by the police. Silver D. Roger smiles proudly. I'm so proud of you, my son. You didn't seek revenge through the wrong path. Instead, you chose the right way, by trusting the law. I believe you will be the one to restore honor to the Roger family's name. Sarah adds, Max, now that uncle is safe, you should go home. Max says, yes mom, dad, if you ever need anything, just call me. Next morning, Sarah wakes up and finds herself lying beside Max embarrassed. She asks, Max, why are you sleeping here? Max replies, I didn't mean to sleep here. It just happened, because of those two. The scene flashes back to the previous night. When Max had returned home, he saw that Penguin gang members had wrecked his house. Max thought to himself, I won't let them get away with this, but for tonight, I'd better focus on cleaning up my home. While he was cleaning, Sarah, who had been standing beside him, fell asleep leaning on his shoulder. Bolu explained, Sister Sarah has been taking care of your dad since morning. She probably got exhausted, that's why she fell asleep. We checked the whole house, only one room is intact. Please let her rest there. Max carried Sarah into his room and tucked her into bed. Then he told Dalu and Bolu, you don't have a place to stay, so clean up one of the rooms and sleep there. Tonight, I'll just rest in the living room. But Dalu and Bola teased him, Brother Max, you're only pretending to be in a relationship with Lenzia, right? That means your real romance is still waiting. Let us help you out. Saying this, they closed the bedroom door on him. Back in the morning, Max smiles at Sarah, so that's what happened. Anyway, it's been a long time since I've been to school. I'm heading there today. On his way, Max thinks, ever since I absorbed the system's power, my body has changed a lot. Day by day, I'm getting bigger and stronger. Even my school uniform barely fits me anymore. Suddenly, Leon collapses in front of him. Leon pleads, Max, please help me, otherwise, they'll kill both of us. Max frowns. Who's after you? And why would they want to kill us both? Look, I don't want to get involved in gang matters. I'll just call the police. Just then, Lou appears, moving in to stab Leon. But Max steps forward and snaps Lou's knife in half. Max warns, I don't care about Leon, but I won't stand by and watch a crime happen right in front of me. Wait, you're Lou, right? You worked under Leon, and now you're trying to kill your own boss? This is why gangs can never be trusted. Another gangster steps up and asks Lou, who is this kid? Why is he interfering in Penguin Gang's business? Lou answers, he's the one who beat up Leon and all of us earlier. His name is Max D. Roger. The other gangster glares, so you're from the Roger family, the infamous gangster family. Now it makes sense why you're such a good fighter. But before he can finish, Max punches him down. Max says coldly, to beat a fool like you, I don't need my bloodline's name. Anyway, I don't even have time to fight you, class is about to start. Instead of me, the police will fight you. Hearing this, Lou and the gangster panic. He's talking about calling the police. We can't let cops get involved in this matter. Max turns to Leon. See? Even your own men are trying to kill you. I told you, running a gang is meaningless. Should I call you an ambulance, or will you manage to crawl to the hospital yourself? Leon mutters weakly, small wounds don't matter to me. But he collapses unconscious. Later, Leon wakes up in a hospital bed. Shocked, he asks, how did I end up here? Max answers, I carried you here and saved your life. Leon, wide-eyed, you saved me? Max nods, yes. Actually, I was coming to talk to you. There's something important you need to know. Penguin Gang has taken over the city. Their strength is 100 times greater than ours. Max replies indifferently, so what? I'm just a high schooler, not a gangster. Why should I care what happens in the gangster world? Leon shakes his head. You may not want to care, but you're already involved. Don't you remember beating up that casino owner? He reported your name to Penguin Gang. That's why they attacked your father, and that's why they'll come after you again. It's the same thing that happened to me. Because of an informant, Penguin Gang destroyed my gang. Half of my men now work for them, and the rest are scattered with no place to go. The truth is, you're in just as much danger as I am. Max thinks to himself, so it was Penguin Gang who attacked Dad. If they've got my name, then future attacks are certain. Leon continues, I may be a terrible person, but I'm not so rotten that I'd kill someone. You saw Lou, he tried to murder me. I'm telling the truth. If we want to defeat Penguin Gang, you'll need my help. Alone, we can protect ourselves. But we can't protect our families and friends forever. To keep our people safe, we'll have to destroy Penguin Gang completely. And without your help, that's impossible. Max says, listen, I'll never cooperate with any gangster. If I wanted to work with criminals, I could have just rejoined the Roger family's old gang. We could have ended this whole Penguin Gang problem with a single call. But Dad always says, taking the wrong path is easy, coming back from it is the real struggle. I know how to protect my family in my own way. And if you stop living like a gangster and start doing normal work, they won't even bother attacking you. If you really want to take down the Penguin Gang, do it legally. Since you were once part of the underworld, you must already have a lot of evidence against them. If you're afraid to talk to the police, I'll do it for you. But I'll never advise you, or myself, to walk down the wrong road again. Leon replies, alright, then will you help me collect evidence against them? I promise, once they're destroyed, I'll choose the right path. Max nods, fine, I promise I'll help you. But first, focus on getting better. Walking out of the hospital, Max mutters, it's already so late, too late to make it to school. I'll just stop by to meet Dalu and Bola first. Scene shifts to Len Corporation. Max arrives at Len Corporation. As soon as he walks in, the main gates open automatically and all the staff greet him respectfully. Max thinks, last time, even the security guards couldn't protect me properly. But this time, they've learned from their mistakes. Impressive. They've really improved. He walks into Dalu and Bola's office and says, if you two are done with work, let's head home. But to his surprise, both of them are buried under piles of paperwork. Max shocked, as security team leaders, you guys have this much work? Dalu replies, big brother, just wait 20 more minutes. We'll finish everything quickly. While waiting outside, Max reflects, watching Dalu and Bola work so hard reminds me of how I used to struggle back when I was studying. I gave my best, but nothing seemed to work out. Now, with the system helping me, I can do anything, yet, somehow, I feel empty. It's like I'm relying too much on someone else's strength. If I really want to achieve something meaningful, I'll have to work hard on my own. Depending on the system all the time isn't a good thing. After a while, Dalu and Bola return. Dalu said, brother, we didn't keep you waiting too long, right? Max said, I can wait as long as I want, I've got plenty of time. You both looked really busy. Tearfully, Dalu and Bola say, all our lives, we focused only on martial arts. We thought being a bodyguard just meant being strong. But today we realized, a bodyguard has so many other responsibilities. We have to check surveillance cameras, record data, monitor systems. More than half of the security work happens in the control room. Physical strength hardly matters here. We wasted years training our muscles, when what really mattered were the skills we never learned. That's why we're struggling so much now. Max smiles and replies, be grateful that you at least get to work in a field related to what you've trained for all your lives. These days, people study engineering and then brag about running tea stalls. Think about it, engineering and tea making are two completely different skills. Someone who never studied engineering can still make tea, but to sell tea, they end up making a joke of their hard-earned degree. You guys, on the other hand, are using your martial arts skills as professional bodyguards. That's something to be proud of. Bola nods, you're right, brother. We admit we have flaws, but we'll keep improving. And once we become proper bodyguards, we'll return to our village, to show everyone that we made something of ourselves. Max said, alright, but for now, come with me. Don't forget, we still have to clean up the house. Dalu adds, brother, we really believe that one day you'll build a company even bigger than Len Corporation. When that happens, we'd love to work there. Max laughs, who knows? Maybe someday we will have a company greater than Len Corporation. After all, the Roger family always aims high. At that moment, Lenzia walks in. She said, Max, did you come here for me? Max replies, no, actually, I came to meet them. Lenzia asks, I heard your father was attacked. How is he now? If you need any kind of help, you can always count on Len Corporation. We'll do whatever we can. Max replies politely, no, don't worry. It was just a few scratches, nothing serious. He's fine now. While they're talking, Chu Tian suddenly appears. Chu Tian said, Lenzia, what are you doing with this guy? Lenzia frowns. Chu Tian, what are you doing in front of my company? As far as I remember, we already terminated all our contracts with you. You have no reason to be here. Chu Tian snaps, to make you happy. I did everything I could. I'm the young master of the Chen family, and still, I followed you around like a dog. I humiliated myself for you, and yet, you never cared. Lenzia smirks, first of all, I never asked you to act like a dog. That's just your nature, and now everyone can see it. As for marriage, I've told you 1,000 times, I don't like you. I honestly don't know what language I need to say it in for you to understand. Chu Tian yells, what does this guy have that I don't? I'm the young master of the Chen family. My family name is far more powerful than his. Lanzia said coldly. Maybe it is, but it's not cool. Max's surname, Roger, sounds way cooler than yours. He's 5 years younger than you and still looks 10 years better. Sure, you might belong to a big family, but compared to him, you're not even fit to polish his shoes. She steps closer, glaring at him. I'm telling you for the last time, I don't like you. The reason? Your ugly face, your filthy family, and your disgusting surname. From now on, don't ever show me your face again. Oh, and in case you're curious about my future, Max and I are getting engaged soon. We'll make sure to send you an invitation. Max was thinking to himself, well, everything she said sounds fine, but when exactly is our engagement supposed to happen? And why wasn't I ever asked about it? He sighed and muttered, the young miss of the Len family is in danger. Isn't it my duty as her bodyguard to protect her? As he walked forward, Dalu and Bola stepped in, warning him, Mr. Chen, God gave you 2 hands and 2 legs so you could walk away safely. Don't make us throw you out, it won't be pleasant. Chu Tian glared at them. I listened to your young miss because of Len Corporation, but that doesn't mean I have to listen to her bodyguards. Touch me, and you'll regret it. Lenzia walked up with a teasing smile. Max, why do you look so nervous? Max replied, you're talking about getting engaged to me, and you expect me not to be nervous? Lenzia laughed. Relax. I only said engagement, not marriage. Engagements these days break faster than a thin thread. It's nothing serious. Max thought, great, first, I was only supposed to pretend to be her boyfriend for a few days, and now it's turned into an engagement? Why do I feel like I've gotten involved with the wrong girl? Meanwhile, Chu Tian was fuming elsewhere. That damn Max ruined everything. When I was negotiating marriage with the Len Corporation, I took an $80 million loan from them. If I had married into their family, they'd never have dared to ask for it back. But now that the engagement is broken, they're demanding the money, and I've already spent it all. He clenched his fists in frustration. I'm completely trapped. I borrowed money from my father, claiming it was for my future with Lenzia, but I spent it all on girls and luxury trips abroad. I even secretly borrowed from Len Corporation itself. How the hell am I supposed to pay either of them back now? His eyes hardened. No matter what, I must marry Lenzia. My father might forget the money eventually, but 80 million? I'll never be able to repay that in my lifetime. Scene shifts to hospital. Max visited his father in the hospital. His father smiled weakly. I'm feeling much better than before. I'll be discharged soon. But Max insisted, Mom, Dad, please stay here a few more days. It's safer in the hospital. He then explained the entire situation with the Penguin Gang, how they were connected to the recent attacks and murders. No one would dare attack a hospital. As long as you're here, you'll be safe. I'll come for you once I've solved this case completely. Don't worry about the hospital bills. There's enough money in this card to cover the entire year. If more is needed, I'll take care of it. His father frowned. But you're still a student, Max. Where did you get all this money? Max chuckled awkwardly. I'm currently pretending to be Lenzia's boyfriend. She pays me quite well for it. You could say it's like my part-time job. His mother smiled softly. Ah, so that's why that girl always waits for you outside our house. I see now. But, son, you don't need to pay for us. Keep that money for yourself. Max protested. But Mom, how will you pay the hospital fees? She replied. We have enough savings to manage our lives comfortably. Use that money to build your future instead. Just promise me, solve this matter quickly, and please, don't do anything reckless. Max smiled reassuringly. Don't worry, Mom, Dad. Nothing will go wrong. Outside the hospital, Max turned to Leon. We should start executing our plan against the Penguin Gang. Leon nodded. Agreed. Come to my ward. We'll discuss the plan there. Once inside, Max asked, You look pretty confident. Did you find something? Leon grinned. Yeah, I got word about some beauty salons in the same district as the casino. After our downfall, all of them were taken over by the Penguin Gang. Now those bastards are misbehaving with our female customers, the same ones who've been coming to us for years. I'm furious. If we can record what they're doing, we can expose them. Max raised an eyebrow. Wait, what exactly did your salons even do? Leon rolled his eyes. What are you thinking? We ran proper businesses, man. Just haircuts and grooming. What do you think? Gangsters can only cut throats. We can cut hair too. We never treated our customers badly. Max sighed. Alright, fine. I'll record the video, but I can't believe the kind of work I'm ending up doing because of you. Leon leaned forward urgently. Please, just show the Penguin Gang's misbehavior, but not my salons. That's my only source of income. Max scoffed. Are you stupid? If I don't show the location where illegal activities are happening, how can I prove it's illegal? If your place gets sealed, that's not my problem. Leon pleaded, but my shops are clean. I've only ever cut hair there, nothing else. The problem is, I don't even know what those Penguin Gang thugs are doing inside now. If they're running shady business, my salons will be shut down for nothing. Please, I'll even give you a share of my income. Just save them somehow. I'm not doing this just for myself. I ran that gang for 10 years, gave jobs to my brothers, men who knew nothing but fighting and pickpocketing. They're uneducated, but I tried to help them live straight lives. Without those salons, they'll have no way to survive. I can move on the right path, but I don't want them to fall back into crime. Max frowned and asked, "What exactly do you want from me, Leon? Why do I feel like you're trying to convince me to help your gang get back what the Penguin Gang took from you? And what guarantee do I have that once Penguin Gang is gone, you and your men won't go back to doing the same dirty work?" Leon quickly shook his head. "No, I swear, we'll never go back to crime again. Just this once. Max, please help us." Max scoffed. "This is exactly why I can't stand gangsters. Now that you're the one suffering, you suddenly think it's unfair. But have you ever thought about how many innocent families your kind has destroyed? You're crying over one lost shop, but how many small businesses did you crush just because they couldn't pay your so-called protection fees? Did you ever think about their pain?" He took a step closer, his voice firm. "What's happening to you now is karma, the curse of those people, and you'll have to face it. I agreed to help you only because I want to clean things up, not to stoop down to your level." Leon lowered his head, ashamed. "You're right, Max. I admit every wrong I've done, but I swear, from now on, I'll never do anything illegal again. I just want to help my brothers find honest work. I'm bringing them back together, not to rebuild a gang, but to rebuild their lives." Max sighed. "Look, Leon, I want to believe you, but I can't fully trust your words yet, and I'm not interested in taking a share of your salon either. From now on, I'll be the leader of your lovely gang, only to make sure your men walk the right path. After that, the lovely gang will be finished for good." Leon smirked faintly. "Fine. I've got no problem calling you boss. Should I start calling you Big Brother Max?" Max waved his hand. No, none of that nonsense. I said I'll lead the gang, but only for good deeds. Anyway, I'm heading out for some investigation." Later, Max, along with Dalu and Bolu, reached outside Liang's old salon. There, they spotted a member of the Penguin Gang harassing a female customer. Max clenched his jaw. "These guys are disgusting. Harassing women in broad daylight." He turned to Dalu. "Record his behavior immediately. I'm going to help that girl." Max rushed forward. "Hey, is this how your salon treats customers? By harassing women?" The gangster sneered. "Who the hell are you, kid? I'm talking to this lady. What's your problem?" "Wait a minute. Max D. Roger, right? Someone's put a nice price on your head today. Guess you're done for." Max smirked coldly. "Then you better bring at least 100 men if you want a chance. Because the storms that blow away your homes aren't even strong enough to dry my underwear." The thug froze for a second, startled by Max's confidence. Damn, the way this guy talks, he's dangerous. I don't think he's bluffing. Fighting him now would be a mistake. Just then, a group of Penguin Gang members burst out of the salon. "Brother Dong, that's Max D. Roger, the guy we were paid to kill. Looks like he came here to die himself." Dong shouted nervously. "No, we're not fighting him now. We don't have enough men." The gang quickly backed away. "Wait for us, Max. Next time, we'll come back with a full army." Max called out as they fled. "Bring your army. Bring the military if you want. It won't make a difference. Going up against Max D. Roger is a death wish." Bolu, wide-eyed, muttered, "Brother, where do you even come up with these epic lines?" Max chuckled. "Bolu, remember this. Great action always needs great dialogue. Without it, the story just doesn't hit right. Anyway, now we have proof of their crimes, but it's not enough. We'll need to dig deeper." Scene shifts to Chu Tian's office. Chu Tian walked into his office only to find his father waiting inside. Chu Tian said, "Dad, what are you doing here?" His father said, "You borrowed $80 million from Len Corporation. When were you planning to tell me about that?" Chu Tian's eyes widened in shock. "How did you find out?" His father replied, "Because Miss Len herself called me, demanding repayment." "Where did you blow all that money, son? You didn't use a single dollar for the company. I know you too well. You wasted it chasing women, didn't you?" Chu Tian tried to speak, but his father continued coldly, "Anyway, what's done is done. Tell me, how do you plan to fix the mess you've created?" Chu Tian pleaded, "Dad, please help me." His father snapped, "I may be the company president, but that doesn't mean I can move funds however I like. Your uncle is always waiting for a chance to take my position. One wrong move, and it's over for me. You're asking me to pull 80 million out of company funds? Forget it. I love you, but I love my position more." Chu Tian looked desperate. "Then what am I supposed to do now?" His father's tone turned coldly practical. "I told you years ago, your only solution is Len Zia. If you can win her over, Len Corporation will never ask their son-in-law for repayment." Chu Tian groaned. "But Dad, She's not some random girl I can impress by flashing money around. His father smirked. Who said you could win her over the easy way? You don't have anything that could attract a woman like her, not your looks, not your power, not your brains. But if you use dirty tricks, the situation might change. Chu Tian frowned and asked, Dad, what exactly are you trying to say? His father leaned back in his chair, speaking coldly. Kidnap Len Zia. You already know what to do after that. Because of Len Corporation's reputation, they'll never let this scandal leak. And once you've been with her, she'll have no choice but to marry you. Chu Tian's eyes widened in shock. All right, Dad. I'll contact the Penguin Gang right away and tell them to grab Len Zia. Scene shifts to Officer Wang, who's sitting with Max's report in hand. Max had just exposed the Penguin Gang's illegal activities. Officer Wang smiled. You've done an excellent job, Max. Don't worry, we'll investigate this thoroughly. Max nodded confidently. You and I, Officer Wang, together we'll destroy the Penguin Gang for good. Just then, a man burst into the room, out of breath. Leader, please, help us. The lovely gang needs you. Max turned around. Wait, are you talking to me? The man saluted. My name's Yaosher. I'm the vice leader of the lovely gang. Our gang, we really need your help right now. Officer Wang raised an eyebrow. Max, when did you become the leader of a gang? Max chuckled awkwardly. You could say it's the world's first gang that does good deeds. Long story. I'll tell you when I've got time. Officer Wang nodded with a grin. I trust you, Max. I know you'd never do anything bad. Later, Max arrived at the lovely gang's base. Inside, the members looked broken and hopeless. One of them muttered, Our boss Liang's been badly injured. Some of our brothers even betrayed us and joined the Penguin Gang. We don't know any real jobs. Maybe it's better if we just die. At least our suffering will end. Max stepped in firmly. Stop right there. Ding, one of the men, looked up weakly. Max, what are you doing here? Did you come to arrest us? Don't worry, in 5 minutes, we'll be dead anyway. Yaosher interrupted. Brothers, I met Liang. He told me from now on, our leader is Max. Whatever he says, we follow. For our brother's sake. Max looked around at the defeated faces and spoke passionately. Look, the condition you're in today, it's because of your own actions. You've done terrible things. That's why you're suffering. But it's also true that your parents depend on you. Taking your own life isn't the solution. Do you want your families to starve after you're gone? One man shouted bitterly. Easy for you to say, Max. You're educated. You have a future. We're criminals. No company would even hire us as janitors, let alone security guards. At least when we did dirty work, we could feed our families. Better to die than watch them starve. Max's tone softened. You think I'm here to look down on you? Not at all. I just don't understand how men like you, who clearly don't have courage, ended up becoming gangsters. Look, I came here to help you become better men. If you follow my lead, I promise your lives can change. Why assume that every gang must be evil? He took a step forward and declared, from now on, we'll build a new kind of gang, one that helps people. We'll fight for good. One day, everyone will say, the lovely gang, those guys are sweet and honorable. Meanwhile, we see Len Zia driving up a steep hill, frustrated. Ugh, this stupid cheap car. Max told me to buy this junk, and now it can't even climb a slope. She slammed the gear stick in frustration, and it snapped. The car rolled backward and crashed into another vehicle. The angry driver stepped out, shouting, Hey, don't you even know how to drive? Len Zia, embarrassed, replied, I'm so sorry. My car just stopped working. I'll pay for all the damage, I promise. In her mind, she fumed. I'm throwing this piece of trash car in the junkyard. Why does this company even make such garbage? But the man smirked. Oh, you don't have to worry about paying. Once I take you, I'll recover more than enough. Before she could react, he struck her, and Len Zia fell unconscious. Back with Max and the gang, Yaosher asked, Leader Max, how are we supposed to become better people? What's your plan? Max replied, Listen, you've all committed crimes. That means no one's going to hire you. So we have only one option left. We start our own business. He smiled confidently. I have an idea. We'll open an internet cafe. Think about it. Internet cafes are places where people often get into fights. If you guys are there, no one will dare cause trouble. Gamers can come, play peacefully, and enjoy themselves. It'll be good business, and a good deed. He crossed his arms. Once Liang recovers, I'll talk to him about this plan. But tell me, have we found any solid evidence against the Penguin Gang yet? Yaosher spoke confidently. I've already planted some of my loyal men inside the Penguin Gang. The moment they make a mistake, we'll expose them instantly. Just then, another gang member rushed in, panicked. Leader, someone's been kidnapped near Huan Street. Max immediately asked, Do you know if it was done by members of the Penguin Gang? The man shook his head nervously. I'm not sure, but they're taking the victim to the Red State Hotel. That's Penguin Gang territory. Max leaned forward sharply. Did you record the incident? The man nodded and handed him a phone. Max played the footage and froze. His eyes widened in shock. It was Lenzia being dragged away. Max clenched his fists. Who the hell dares kidnap the young miss of Len Corporation? Do these idiots have any idea who they're messing with? Yaoshi asked cautiously. Leader, should we get involved in this? Max growled. Of course, we should. That girl is your fake sister-in-law. Move! Get the car ready and report this to the police. Tell everyone, we're going to fight. Scene shifts to Lenzia, who slowly regained consciousness. Her head throbbed as she looked around a dimly lit hotel room. Where am I? Chu Tian answered coldly. You're with me now. Finally awake? Good. That means we can start what I planned. Soon, Lenzia, you'll be mine, forever. Meanwhile, Yaoshi pulled up with a small car. Boss, this is all we could find. Max sighed. Everything we get our hands on these days looks suspiciously weird, but we don't have a choice. Let's go. He turned to his men. Dalu, Bolu, gather everyone and follow us. Moments later, Max and the entire lovely gang sped toward the Red State Hotel. Inside the hotel, Dong, a Penguin gang member, paced angrily. The moment we let this guy live, he's become a damn headache. And now he's at our base. This time, we're not letting him walk away. He shouted. Can someone tell me what the lovely gang is doing in our territory? This isn't your uncle's garden for you to stroll into. Max stepped forward calmly. I'm not here for your nonsense, Dong. I just have one question. Is Chu Tian here? Dong smirked. Yeah, young Master Chu Tian is our VIP guest. But why should I tell you where he is? Max glared at him. Because your so-called VIP just kidnapped Lenzia, the youngest daughter of the Len family. If anything happens to her, her grandfather will burn you all alive. Do you even know whose toes you've stepped on? Dong's men exchanged worried looks. One of them muttered, Boss, that guy did bring an unconscious woman here earlier. We thought she was just one of his usual girls. But if she's really from the Len family, then this is bad, really bad. Dong looked torn. So what do we do now? A man with glasses spoke up. We're caught between two powerful families. If we help save Lenzia, we'll offend the Chens. If we help the Chens, we'll make enemies of the Lens. Dong gritted his teeth. Then we'll side with the ones we already work for, the Chen family. Brothers, attack! We can't let young Master Chu Tian fail. Once he's done, he'll protect us from the Len family's wrath. Max and his men charged forward. The room erupted into chaos. Within minutes, Max, Yaoshi, and Dalo took down all 50 gang members effortlessly. Dong, trembling, looked around at his fallen men. 50 men, wiped out by just 3? This isn't a fight, it's a massacre. Then Bolu arrived, leading the rest of the lovely gang. Dong's eyes widened in fear. I'm alone, and they've brought an entire army. Max smirked. My men haven't fought in a while, their joints are getting stiff. Think of this as a warm-up. Trust me, I'm doing you a favor. If 50 of my guys hit you once each, you won't live to regret it. Dong dropped to his knees. No, please forgive me. We don't want to fight. You can do whatever you want. Max stepped closer. Then tell me, where is that bastard Chu Tian? Dong stammered. Room 403. Max nodded. Good. The lovely gang will guard the exits. When the police arrive, tell them everything that happened. Inside, Lenzia was screaming, let me go. Chu Tian sneered. Scream all you want. No one's going to hear you. You're just wasting your voice. Tears streamed down her face. Chu Tian, you're disgusting. I knew you were vile, but I didn't think you'd fall this low. If you dare touch me, my grandfather will destroy you. Chu Tian laughed darkly. You think I'm a child? The Len family loves their reputation more than they love you. Even if I do whatever I want here, no one will ever find out. And in the end, they'll have no choice but to marry you to me. He stepped closer. Now stop pretending and cooperate, unless you want this to hurt more. Lenzia cried out, Max, Grandpa, someone please help me. At that moment, the door burst open. Max stormed in and shouted furiously, get away from her, you animal. Before Chu Tian could react, Max punched him hard across the face, sending him crashing to the floor. Chu Tian yelled in rage, even my father never hit me. How dare you? Max hit him again, silencing him. Chu Tian spat blood, gasping, you'll pay for this. Max, you'll pay dearly. Lenzia, sobbing with relief, threw her arms around Max. I was so scared. Max held her protectively. It's okay, you're safe now. But while Max was comforting her, Chu Tian seized the chance to escape through a back door. Max shouted, he's getting away. Follow him. Don't let him escape. Later, Max met with Officer Wang to file a report. Officer Wang said, I'll investigate everything personally. Miss Lenzia, can she record her statement? Max replies, she's still in shock right now, but she will later. I'll bring her to you myself. Then Dalo ran in, out of breath. Boss, that scumbag got away. He slipped through the alleys. I lost him. What should we do now? Max sighed. The Chen family is powerful. They'll probably use their influence to erase every piece of evidence. To bring them down, we'll need to find another way. For now, everyone go rest. We've done enough for one day. That night, as Dalu was about to head home, a police officer approached him. Officer Wang sent me. I have bad news. The Chen family has used their connections to file a case against Max. The police will come to arrest him soon. Dalu's eyes widened in shock. What? After everything he's done to save her? Dalu muttered to himself, if that's true, I need to inform the boss immediately. Meanwhile, at the Len family mansion, Grandpa Len was fuming with rage. That bastard Chu Tian dared to kidnap my granddaughter. Looks like he's grown tired of living. Slamming his cane on the ground, he barked into his phone. I want 200 men ready immediately. Tonight, I'll destroy the entire Chen family. Just then, Miss San hurried in and pleaded, Grandpa, please calm down. We can't break the law like this. If you do, you'll destroy everything our ancestors built. Grandpa roared, what's the point of building such a massive empire if I can't even protect my own granddaughter? If we don't use our money for revenge, then what's the use of having it? Max stepped forward, trying to steady the situation. Sir, we'll go through the proper channels. We'll report everything to the police. That scumbag Chu Tian was trying to record an explicit video of Len Zia, but the fool didn't realize he was recording evidence against himself. Grandpa's face softened with a grim smile. Max, you did well bringing that camera. Once that bastard is in prison, how long he stays there will depend on me. Max's phone suddenly rang. It was Dalu. Boss, bad news. Chu Tian filed a false report against you. He told the police you tried to murder him. And you know how powerful the Chen family is. The cops are on their way to arrest you. Hanging up, Max clenched his jaw. Damn it. Since Len Zia hasn't given her testimony yet, our case wasn't officially filed. That bastard used the delay to strike first and file against me. Len Zia asked anxiously, then what do we do now, Max? Max took a deep breath. He thinks we don't have evidence. But what he doesn't know is that we have everything we need. Even if they arrest me, they won't be able to hold me for long. Just then, Officer Wang called. Max, listen carefully. The police are coming to arrest you. Chu Tian's using some very dirty tricks, and since the police department receives heavy funding from the Chen family, they won't listen to your side. I spoke up for you, but they removed me from the case. They know I'll never let them frame you. You're the only one who has solid evidence against Chu Tian. Don't hand it over to anyone yet. Many senior officers are in the Chen family's pocket. When they arrest you, don't resist. Let them take you quietly. Once you're in custody, the Len family will officially file their case. When two of the city's most powerful families go head-to-head, the higher authorities will have no choice but to convene an emergency meeting. That's when you'll reveal the evidence, in front of everyone. Once that happens, the Chen family won't be able to escape justice. Max replied calmly, Thank you, Officer Wang. Don't worry, everything will go exactly as planned. Moments later, police cars screeched to a halt outside the Len residence. Grandpa Len stormed out, furious. How dare they come here to arrest my granddaughter's savior? I'll have them all fired. Max stepped forward and placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. Grandpa, please. Even a lion takes a few steps back before it leaps forward. We're about to bring down the Chen family. Let's give them a moment to think they've won. Grandpa paused, then nodded reluctantly as Max was led away in handcuffs. At the station, Max was escorted into the interrogation room, where Deputy Li, a loyal dog of the Chen family, awaited him. Deputy Li slammed his hand on the table. Because of you, young Master Chu Tian lost a tooth. Do you realize you've committed a second-degree assault? You could spend 10 years in prison. Max leaned back, unfazed. Are you interrogating me or accusing me? Looks like the Chen family only told you half the story. Yes, I hit him. I beat him like a dog. But do you even know why? Li frowned. What are you talking about? Max continued, his tone sharp. You know the Len family, right? That bastard kidnapped their daughter. If someone kidnaps my girlfriend, do you expect me to sit quietly and clap for him? Li's expression faltered. Wait, he kidnapped Miss Len? Before Max could answer, Officer Wang entered. Yes, it's true. I'm a witness. She was kidnapped. Deputy Li, still skeptical, said, without solid evidence, no case can stand. Has the Len family even filed a report? At that exact moment, the city police chief called Deputy Li. His voice was tense. Get to the conference room immediately. The Len family has just filed an official case. Their daughter was kidnapped by Chu Tian. Two of the city's biggest families are now in direct conflict. We need to discuss this immediately. Li froze. So it's true, Len Zia really was kidnapped? The chief replied, yes. Now move, Li. We don't have time. Li rushed out of the interrogation room. Max turned to Officer Wang. What's going on, officer? Wang smiled faintly. Exactly what we planned. The Len family filed their case at the perfect time. Now that both families are clashing, the entire police force will hold a meeting. Trust me, Chutian's done for. In the large conference hall, senior officers gathered around the table. The police chief stood at the front. Gentlemen, I need everyone's opinion on this case. It involves both the Len and Chen families. We must handle it carefully. Before anyone could speak, Deputy Li, ever the Chen family loyalist, stood up and began flattering them. Deputy Li stood up confidently and said, "The Chen family has played a major role in building this city into what it is today. We can't just tarnish their son's reputation so easily." The police chief raised an eyebrow. "Deputy Li, why do I get the feeling that you're defending the Chen family a bit too much? You remember who pays your salary, don't you? It's the government, not the Chens. So I suggest you focus on your duty." He turned toward another officer. "Captain Yu, give us the final report." Captain Yu stood and calmly explained the entire case. Before he could finish, Deputy Li interrupted. "All that you're saying sounds good, but where's the evidence?" Captain Yu replied firmly, "Even if we don't have all the physical evidence yet, we have multiple witnesses. Many people saw the kidnapping of the Len family's daughter. They also saw Chu Tian fleeing the scene." Just then, the meeting room doors burst open. Mrs. Chen, Chu Tian's mother, stormed in furiously. "Deputy Li, you know my son is innocent. How dare you let them file a case against him?" Deputy Li tried to calm her down, whispering, "Madam, please, the police chief is here. I can't say anything right now." But Mrs. Chen refused to listen. Captain Yu frowned. "Madam, please wait outside. This is an official meeting." She glared at him. "You're just a low-ranking captain. You can't stop me. I came here to speak to Deputy Li." The police chief stood up, his tone cold. "So, Deputy Li has become that important now, huh? Well, I am the chief of police here. Tell me, Mrs. Chen, what exactly do you want? I don't care if you belong to the Chen family or any other. If you interrupt this meeting for even one more second, I'll make sure you end up in jail, whether your son does or not. Now, get out of my conference room." He signaled to the guards, and Mrs. Chen was escorted out forcefully. Moments later, Officer Wang entered. "Chief, Miss Lenzia has arrived, and she's brought all the evidence with her." The chief nodded. "Good, bring her in immediately." Lenzia walked in, composed but firm. "This is the DNA report. The hair found at the place where I was held matches Chu Tian's. These are photographs taken by bystanders at the scene. And here," she placed a pen drive on the table, "is a video Chu Tian recorded to blackmail me. You can clearly see him and hear his voice, explaining exactly what he intended to do." Officer Wang reviewed the material, then looked up. "These are solid, irrefutable pieces of evidence. Thank you, Miss Lenzia. Because of you, this case is now officially solved. The guilty will not escape justice." Lenzia asked softly, "So what happens now?" Officer Wang replied, "Now that Chu Tian's crime has been proven, Max will be released immediately." Her eyes brightened. "Then, can I take Max home?" Officer Wang smiled. "Yes, you may." Unbeknownst to them, Mrs. Chen had overheard everything before leaving. Later, back at the Chen Corporation, she rushed into her husband's office. "Our son, Chu Tian, is in serious trouble." Mr. Chen frowned. "Calm down. I already spoke to Deputy Li. He'll take care of it." She shook her head. "No, you don't understand. I went to the police station myself. The chief was there, and Lenzia presented all the evidence in front of everyone. Our son has been declared guilty." Mr. Chen looked stunned. "What? That's impossible. I'll call Deputy Li right now." He dialed quickly. "Deputy Li, how could this happen? How can my son be punished while you're still in charge?" Deputy Li's furious voice came through the phone. "How dare you call me? Your son committed a serious crime, and you lied to me about it. I almost lost my job defending him in front of the police chief. Your son is a criminal, and he'll be punished accordingly. Don't ever call me again. I don't want to get dragged down because of you." Mr. Chen stared at the phone in disbelief. "Brotherly, please, try to understand." But Deputy Li had already hung up. Mrs. Chen snapped. "We fed that deputy money our whole lives, and now that we actually need help, he hung up on us. If you hadn't told our boy that idea, he would never have done this." Mr. Chen, annoyed, replied, "Don't blame me for all this. I did whatever I did to save my stupid son. For one, I don't even know where he blew 80 million. If he hadn't married into the Len family, I'd lose my position, and you wouldn't be able to waste money at your kiddie parties anymore." Mrs. Chen, crying, said, "What can I do now? Without the Len family's help our business won't survive. And if our son goes to prison, he'll be in for a long time." Mr. Chen, "No, we won't let that happen. Go put on formal clothes and prepare some very nice gifts. Whatever the Len family asks, we'll give them. We may be ruined, but at least we can save our son." Mr. and Mrs. Chen went to the Len family's house. Mr. Chen said, "Mr. Len, the Len and Chen families have been friends for a long time. I know my son made a huge mistake, and I can't fix it anymore. No matter how awful he was, he's my son. You watched him grow up. I'll do whatever you ask to put him back on the right path, but sending him to jail would be completely wrong. Mr. Len, angry, replied, just looking at Yuchin family makes me furious. If my kids hadn't stopped me, I would have already destroyed your corporation. You're talking about jail? If your idiot son shows up in front of me, I'll bury him right here. Don't expect any forgiveness from me. If you want forgiveness, beg Lenjia. If she's willing to forgive, then I have no objections. Mr. Chen pressed on, Lenjia, my girl, please give my son one chance. I know he did something terrible, but forgive him just this once. I promise, after today he'll never even look at a girl again. Lenjia answered, Uncle, I can't forgive him, but I can stop him from going to jail. But you'll have to do me one favor in return. Mr. Chen, yes, whatever you say, we'll do it. Lenjia said, return the $80 million that bastard took from us, and the money your Chen Corporation has been taking from us over time. Altogether that's about $200 million. If you give that back, maybe we'll drop the charges. Uncle Chen says, $200 million out of the company is a huge sum. It will take us time to return that much. Lenjia said, fine. It'll take us some time to withdraw the case, too. You know, if we're even one day late dropping the case, that bastard goes to jail. Seems you love your son more than money. Mr. Chen agrees. Okay, I promise we'll return every penny. I'll give you the $200 million by tomorrow to spare Chutian. Scene shifts to a hospital. Max approaches his parents and says, you know, I helped solve the Len family's case. They gave me 100,000 yuan in return. Silver D. Roger, shocked. Why did you take such a large amount? That's a year's salary for me to pay back. Max said, that's not a loan, it's a gift. You can accept it. Lenzia adds, the Len family gave a small engagement gift to their future in-laws. Once we're engaged, they'll give millions of yuan to show respect. Silver D. Roger, stunned. Engagement? Marriage? Who are you? Some girl who's suddenly going to become our daughter-in-law. Max wonders how to explain it to his dad. Then Lenzia says, hello, uncle, aunt. My name is Lenzia and I'm Max's girlfriend. Max's mom says, Lenzia, yes, Max told me about her. Just then, there's a knock at the door. When Max opens it, Zia was standing there. Zia says, Max, I heard your parents are sick. I came to see them. Looks like Sister Lenzia is here, too. Silver D. Roger, shocked. Max, another girl? Lenzia asks, Zia, you came to see uncle and aunt too? Max's mom asks, you must be Zia, Max's class president, the one who calls him out for skipping class. Zia greeted everyone and said, yes, uncle and aunt, it's me, Zia. Max asked, Zia, how did you know mom and dad were in the hospital? Zia replied, Finn made a big scene about it at school. Do you really think he'd know something like that and not tell everyone? Just then, teacher Tian walked in and said, Max, I heard your parents were injured. I was passing by, so I thought I'd stop in to see them. Max thought to himself, why do all the girls in my life have to show up at the same time today? Lenzia and Zia whispered, even the teacher is here now. While they were talking, there was another knock on the door. Max sighed, thinking, oh no, not again. Who is it this time? Luckily, it was just a nurse bringing in medicine. Max thought, good, at least it's just the nurse. I was afraid it might be another girl. After a while, all the girls said goodbye to Max and left. Silver D. Roger said, Max, come here. I get the feeling you really like Sarah, but today you've opened my eyes, showing me all your girlfriends at once. I stopped you from becoming a gangster, and instead, you've become a ladies' man. Max replied, Dad, when did I ever say I like Sarah? And how do you even know these three are my girlfriends? You heard them, one's my teacher, and one's my classmate. Not every girl I know is automatically my girlfriend. Silver D. Roger shook his head, saying, you think I can't tell? Fine, you explain two of them, but who exactly is Lenzia? How are you going to explain her? Max's mom stepped in. Max already told me about Lenzia. She was supposed to marry someone from the Chen family, a terrible man. Max is just helping her get out of that engagement, nothing more. Right then, Sarah walked in. Max thought, good thing she's 5 minutes late, any earlier and it would have been chaos. Silver D said, finally, Sarah, you're here too. Sarah looked surprised. Two? Were there others before me? Anyway, Max, you know I came here just for you. You've loved those shows since you were a kid, the ones that verify ancient artifacts, right? Well, tomorrow our TV station is hosting a show just like that, and guess what? I'm the main reporter. You should come watch. Excited, Max said, treasure hunting? That's my favorite show. Seeing it live would be amazing. Sarah smiled. So, you're coming, right? Max nodded. Of course, I'll be there. The next day, the scene shifted to the TV station. Many people had brought their treasures to be verified. One man asked another, brother, what did you bring today? The man smiled proudly. I've brought a porcelain pot. Another man commented, the true value of porcelain depends on its age. May I ask how old your pot is? The first man replied, I took it to a master, and he told me it's from the Song dynasty. Everyone gasped in excitement. The Song dynasty? That's ancient. You could easily get 600,000 yuan for that. Just then, a master stepped forward and said, this porcelain pot is not from the Song dynasty. The owner got annoyed. Don't talk nonsense. This is a rare treasure. I already had it checked by an expert. Sarah announced, Max, the show is about to start. Go find a good spot to watch. Tell me which view is best. Max replied, got it, Sarah. As Max stood among the audience, he noticed the two men arguing. The master said, this pot isn't that valuable, but I can still offer you 150,000 yuan for it. The owner shouted, sell something worth 600,000 for just 150,000? Do you think I'm stupid? Max thought, if only I knew more about antiques, I could make a lot of money from shows like this. Suddenly, his system spoke, you've been granted the appraisal skill. To appraise an item, you'll need to spend 20 points. Max thought, right, I completely forgot about my ChatGPT system, it has knowledge from all of history up to today. He started scanning the porcelain pot. Max realized, this pot isn't from the Song dynasty, but that doesn't mean it's worthless. It actually has a pretty high value. The owner said confidently, you'll all see soon enough. When the truth comes out, everyone will know the real worth of this pot. The master replied, I gave you a fair chance, but I guess fate has decided you'll leave empty-handed today. Sarah then announced the contestant's name. Up next is Mr. Jazin. He claims to have a pot from the Song dynasty. The crowd murmured, wow, that must be the most valuable item today. It could sell for at least 600,000 yuan. Sarah continued, we have the city's top 3 antique masters here today. They'll determine the true value of each item. Jazin asked the bald master, Master, what do you think? How much is this pot worth? The master said, this pot was made recently. I can say with confidence it's not from the Song dynasty. It's a newer piece, more valuable than an average pot, but not nearly that old. Jazin argued, please, look again. I showed this to another expert, how can he be wrong? The bald master replied calmly, look, I know what I'm saying. If you don't trust our expertise, you can have it verified elsewhere. Both I and Master Lao are the top antique appraisers in the city. Once we've confirmed it's modern, no one else will dare call it ancient. The master standing in the crowd said, I already knew this pot wasn't that bad. Turning around, Jazin asked, Master, would you like to buy it? The master replied, it's a fake pot. You wouldn't even get 1,000 yuan for it. Why would I give you 150,000? I'm not stupid enough to question the city's top antique experts. If they say it's fake, then it's definitely fake. The bald master nodded. He's right, this pot is worthless. Just then, Max stepped forward and said, I'll buy this pot for 8,000 yuan. Jazin's face lit up. I'll gladly sell it to you. Everyone around laughed. What an idiot. Who buys a fake item like that? Later, when the show ended, Sarah said, Max, I didn't want to interrupt you earlier, but why did you buy that fake thing? Max smiled. Don't worry, Sarah. I'm going to make a lot of money off this pot. A bit later, Max spotted the two antique masters passing by. Masters, could I show you something? Master Zhu glanced at him. Kid, we already told you, it's a fake pot. We were just wondering why you wasted money on it. Max said confidently, yes, I know it's not from the Song dynasty, but it's still a very rare piece. Master Baldy shook his head. No, it's not rare at all. You can find 1,000 of these in the market for 100 yuan each. You wasted your money buying a 100 yuan pot for 8,000. Max replied, if you'd noticed what's written on the bottom, you wouldn't say that. The masters frowned and flipped the pot over, and then froze in shock. On the base was the president's signature. Master Zhu's eyes widened. This is a red razor. I remember, 15 years ago, another country gifted our president a ceremonial pot just like this. It was misplaced later. This is that pot. I can say for sure, this is a national treasure. He turned to Max and said, little brother, would you consider selling it? I'll pay you a price that won't disappoint. Max replied, I want 800,000 yuan for it. Master Zhu nodded immediately. Money is no issue. For a national treasure like this, 800,000 is a small price. Sarah gasped. How did you even know it wasn't fake? Max shrugged. I didn't. I just had a feeling. He received a check for 800,000 yuan. Smiling, Max said, Sarah, I earned this money because of you. Tell me what you like, I'll buy it for you. Sarah replied gently, your university is about to start. Don't waste your money, you should save it for your future. Later that evening, as Sarah was heading home, she got a call from the office saying she needed to come back for urgent work. She told Max, something came up. I have to go back to the office. Please take care of yourself on your way home. While Max was walking home, he spotted teacher Tian sitting in a cafe with a man. Max thought, who's that guy with her? He's really handsome, maybe he's her boyfriend. Let's find out. He quietly sat at the table behind them and listened. They were talking about marriage. Teacher Tian said, you should think about your own marriage. I'm not planning to get married right now. The man said, but who's going to explain that to mom? I won't lie for you, you'll have to tell her yourself. Max suddenly stood up and shouted, you can't force teacher Tian to marry you. Both of them turned in surprise. Teacher Tian exclaimed, Max, what are you doing here? The man grinned, misunderstanding the situation. Ah, now I see why you refuse to marry, you already have a boyfriend. Max was confused. Why does he look so happy thinking I'm her boyfriend? Max asked, wait, you're not Miss Tian's boyfriend? The man laughed. No, of course not. I'm her brother, Tian Wu. Shocked, Max said, you're her brother? Tian Wu smiled. Yeah, look, even our hair color matches. Max scratched his head. Oh, sorry, I'm not her boyfriend, I'm her student. I thought you were trying to force her into marriage, so I stepped in. Teacher Tian explained. Yes, Max is my student. Tian Wu teased. A teacher-student love story? Sis, that could ruin your reputation. Teacher Tian frowned. He's just my student, nothing more. I'm not dating anyone. Tian Wu said, oh, I see. Sorry for the misunderstanding. He then left to return to his hometown. Max chuckled. Your brother really wants you to get married quickly. He didn't even want to leave without making sure of it. He asked, Miss Tian, where are you going now? She replied, of course, I'm going home. Max looked at his watch. It's already 11 p.m. It's not safe to go home alone this late. Let me walk you. Teacher Tian smiled slightly. I don't need a bodyguard from my student. Go home, it's late. Max insisted. No, I won't rest until I know you got home safely. As they walked, Max suddenly noticed flames nearby. He gasped, the Renten Mall, it's on fire. How did such a huge blaze start? Outside the burning mall, people were crying and panicking. An elderly woman sobbed, my grandson is trapped inside. Max rushed to her. Where was your grandson when the fire started? The grandmother said, we were on the 5th floor when it happened. Everyone was being evacuated, and we got separated. He's probably still on the 5th floor. A firefighter shouted, the stairways only reach up to the 4th floor. There are still many people trapped on the 5th and 6th floors. We can't get to them. Another firefighter added grimly, 3 of our men already tried to reach the 5th and 6th floors, but they were knocked unconscious by the smoke. The captain shouted over the roaring flames, are even the protective suits failing? One firefighter coughed through his mask, replying, yes, sir. It's too hot upstairs. The heat is so intense that even the gear isn't working. Just then, Captain Yu arrived. Captain Lau, have all the people been rescued? Captain Lau shook his head grimly. No, Captain Yu, the fire's spreading fast. There are still people trapped on the upper floors. Yu asked urgently. How many? Lau answered. From what we can tell, at least 4 people are still stuck. There's no clear way to reach the 5th and 6th floors. Yu thought for a moment. What if we use helicopters? Lau sighed. It's not that simple. Getting a helicopter here this quickly is nearly impossible. Listening to their conversation, Max clenched his fists. He thought, life always gives us 2 choices, stand back and watch, or step up, fight, and win. Dad always told me, if you ever get a chance to do the right thing, never back down. Just then, his system voice echoed, host, I'll assist you. For 15 minutes, I'll create a protective vacuum field around you. The flames won't touch you during that time. Max smiled faintly. 15 minutes, that's more than enough. Teacher Tian called out anxiously, Max, what are you doing? The old grandmother added, son, don't risk your life. Please. But Max didn't stop. He grabbed a spare firefighter uniform, suited up, and started climbing the emergency stairwell. Moments later, he smashed through a window and leapt into the blazing 4th floor. Captain Lau yelled, who let that kid go in there? There are already 4 people trapped. Now he's added himself to the list. Another firefighter replied, sir, he moved so fast we couldn't stop him. Inside, Max activated the vacuum shield. The fire around him distorted and faded. The heat couldn't reach him, and no smoke entered his lungs. Still, the temperature was dangerously high, and visibility was nearly 0. Then the system spoke again. Host, you also have the biosignal detection ability. Use it to sense life forms within a 100-meter radius. Max nodded and activated the skill. At once, glowing outlines appeared in his vision, 3 life signals on the 6th floor. Boosting his strength, Max smashed through the floor and climbed up to the 6th level. There, he found an elderly man coughing weakly. The man gasped, there's a little boy here. He passed out from the smoke. Max knelt down and saw the child. That must be the grandmother's grandson. I can get out easily using my vacuum field, but they'll never survive this heat. I'll have to take a huge risk. He gathered debris, broke down a section of wall, and yelled down to the firefighters below. I've found 3 survivors, but there's no way down. Set up large air cushions immediately. We're jumping. Captain Lau shouted back. Are you insane? Air cushions only work up to the 3rd or 4th floor. You're on the 6th, and with 3 people? If you miss the target, you'll all die. Captain, you turned to him. Lau, trust him. This kid isn't ordinary. I've seen him do incredible things before. Reluctantly, Lau ordered, deploy the air cushions. The team scrambled into action. Max turned to the others. Hold on to me tight. Don't let go no matter what happens. Then he leapt from the 6th floor. The crowd gasped in terror as the figures plummeted through the smoke. Moments later, a thud echoed, followed by cheers. Max had landed perfectly, cushioning the fall for everyone. The grandmother burst into tears. Thank you, child. You saved my grandson's life. Captain, you shouted. Get them oxygen, now. Teacher Tian rushed forward, her voice trembling. Max, you scared me half to death. I thought you were gone. Max smiled weakly. Relax, teacher. I'm fine. Just then, firefighters came running. We found the last missing girl. She was unconscious on the 2nd floor. Captain Lau exhaled in relief. Everyone's safe. We did it. A doctor hurried over to Max. You jumped from a very high floor. Your legs must have taken heavy impact. Please come with us for a checkup. Max waved it off. No, I'm fine. I'm not hurt at all. Teacher Tian frowned. Max, you need to get checked. You were inside that smoke for a long time. You probably inhaled some of it. Max sighed. All right, fine. I'll go for a checkup. You should head home, teacher. She shook her head firmly. What? Are you crazy? How could I leave you at a time like this? Max smiled. You don't have to worry so much about me. She replied softly. Your parents are in the hospital, and I'm your teacher. That makes it my responsibility to look after you right now. As Max was lifted into the ambulance, the doctor asked, any family members here with him? Teacher Tian immediately stepped forward. Yes, I'm here. I'm his family. The next morning, at school, Zia sat quietly at her desk, reading. Her friend walked over. Hey, I haven't seen Max. Didn't he come to school today? Zia replied. No, he's been dealing with some things. He won't be coming for a few days. Her friend hesitated, then said, it's not that. I just wanted to tell you something about Max. Zia looked up from her book, her expression worried. What happened? Did something happen to Max? Her friend nodded. Yesterday, there was a huge fire at Rinten Mall, and guess what? Max was there. Zia's face turned pale. What? But why would Max be there? He's supposed to be at the hospital taking care of his parents. She paused, thinking aloud. Wait, Max is incredibly brave. If he saw a fire, he would definitely go in to help people. Don't tell me he got hurt trying to save someone? Her friend shook her head. No, nothing happened to him. I wasn't talking about the fire itself. There's something else you should know. Zia frowned. You're really building suspense here. Just tell me already. Her friend smirked. Before Max entered the mall last night, around 11 p.m., he was with our teacher, Miss Tian. Zia blinked in disbelief. Miss Tian? Are you serious? Her friend leaned closer, whispering, you know, I've heard a lot of rumors about Max and Miss Tian around school, and now they were spotted together late at night, outside school, looking well, kind of like they were on a date. She pulled out her phone and showed Zia a photo. Look, Miss Tian's wearing this beautiful dress, like she's out for the evening. And Max, who's usually in casual clothes, is wearing formal ones. I'm telling you, I'm 101% sure they were coming back from a late-night date. Hearing that, Zia's expression froze. Her thoughts spiraled. Zia, Sarah, and now Miss Tian too. Her friend tried to comfort her. Hey, calm down. Miss Tian's 26, and we're all just 18. There's no way Max would fall for someone that much older. Guys his age usually like girls their own age, and you're just as beautiful as she is, maybe even more. But Zia's eyes filled with tears. Before she could respond, the classroom door opened. Miss Tian walked in. Zia's friend quickly said, I should go. Take care, okay, and slipped out of the room. Miss Tian glanced around. Has Max not shown up today either? Finn raised his hand. Ma'am, I can explain. Miss Tian sighed. No need to explain again. I know Max's parents are still recovering at the hospital. He probably won't be coming for a few more days. Just then, the door burst open. Max walked in, smiling slightly. Sorry I'm late. Miss Tian's eyes widened. Max, what are you doing here? You should be resting. What about your leg? Max replied politely. Thank you for worrying, teacher. My parents were discharged from the hospital this morning, and I'm perfectly fine now. He walked over to Zia's desk. And Zia, thank you for taking care of me all these days. The class immediately erupted with laughter. Bro, you're unbelievable. You've charmed every girl in class, even the teacher. Another teased. Yeah, seriously, What's going on between you and Miss Tian? Miss Tian quickly intervened, her tone firm. Enough. Everyone back to your seats. After class, Max turned to Zia. So, what did you bring for lunch today? Zia smiled faintly. Actually, I was planning to eat out today. Max grinned. Mind if I join you? She hesitated a second, then nodded. Sure, let's go. They headed out together and stopped near a row of restaurants. Max looked around. There are so many choices here. What do you feel like eating? Zia said softly. Whatever you like, I'll have that too. Just as they were about to enter a restaurant, Max's phone rang. It was Liang. He answered. Liang, why are you calling? Are you okay? Liang's voice came through the line. Yeah, I just got discharged from the hospital. I came out because I found something important. The Penguin Gang's activity has dropped lately, but I've discovered something huge about them. Max frowned. What is it? Liang said seriously. You know Yuzhen Pavilion, the big pharmaceutical company? They've been secretly funding the Penguin Gang's operations. Max's eyes narrowed. Yuzhen Pavilion, I've heard of them. Liang continued. Remember the last time Chu Tian caused chaos? Yuzhen Pavilion backed him financially. They're helping the gang from behind the scenes. Max replied. Then if we want to bring down Penguin Gang, we'll have to take down Yuzhen Pavilion first. As long as they're funding the gang, it'll never stop. Liang agreed. Exactly. I'll start gathering evidence. If a medical company's supporting a criminal organization, that means they're hiding something serious, and that's why they need protection from gangs like Penguin. After hanging up, Max sighed and turned back to Zia. Sorry about that. Come on, let's eat. Zia studied him carefully. You were talking to Liang, weren't you? Max, you're not getting involved in something dangerous again, are you? Max hesitated, then admitted. I accidentally got involved with some very dangerous people, and if I don't stop them, my family will be in danger. So yeah, I'll have to take a few risks. He looked at her earnestly. You know me, Zia. I'd never let anything happen to the people I care about. Zia's cheeks flushed. Did he just include me in the people he cares about? Before she could respond, Max's eyes shifted to the side. A group of students stood nearby. One of them was bullying a younger kid. The leader, a guy wearing glasses, sneered. You little nobodies from this cheap school think you can stand up to us? We're from Noble Academy. One of his followers asked. Brother Kin, I still don't get it. Why did you bring us to this dump of a school? Our campus is 10 times better than this, Kin smirked. I know this school is trash, and the students here are losers, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have beautiful girls. There's one girl in particular worth coming for. He waved to his gang. Set everything up. We're making our move today. One of the lackeys grinned. Ah, now I get it. You came all the way here to impress the prettiest girl in this dump. I'm dying to see what kind of beauty could make you step foot in a place like this, Brother Kin. Kin smirked and said confidently, I met her online, and I can guarantee she's the most beautiful girl in the entire district. Today, I'll confess my feelings in such a way that these poor kids from this dump of a school will be left speechless. Watching Kin and his friends setting up their ridiculous grand confession, Max couldn't help but frown. What the hell are these guys doing here? This is embarrassing just to watch. Zia whispered beside him. They're students from Noble Academy. Looks like one of them is planning to confess to a girl from our campus. Kin scanned the area impatiently. She said she'd be waiting here on the field. So where is she? Why can't I see her? Then his eyes landed on Zia. His jaw dropped slightly. One of his followers nudged him and said, Brother Kin, that girl's gorgeous. Is she the one you were talking about? Kin replied, No, she's not my online date, but honestly, she's even more beautiful than the girl I was supposed to meet. How can a girl this stunning be studying at such a low-level school? He thought to himself, I was chatting online with Chu Ting, thinking she was the prettiest girl on this campus. But if I'd known there was someone like her, I wouldn't have wasted so much money on that girl. Then Kin raised his voice. Brothers, change of plans. Our new target is her. Before anyone could react, he strutted up to Zia and said dramatically, My name is Kin Jaedong. May I know yours, beautiful? Zia looked unimpressed. Mr. Kin, I think you've made a mistake. The girl you were actually supposed to meet is standing right behind you, and she looks pretty angry. A furious voice cut through the crowd. Kin, what the hell are you doing? It was Chu Ting, red-faced with rage. You came here to confess to me, so why are you flirting with her? She glared at Zia. Now I understand. You think Zia's prettier than me, don't you? Zia, you've become the biggest problem in my life. Whether it's looks or grades, I'm always second to you. It's not that I'm not good enough, it's just that no one ever looks at me because of you. Zia frowned and replied calmly, I don't even know you. Complaining to me won't solve your problems. Chu Ting snapped, Don't play innocent. You know me. I liked Max before you did, but because of you, he completely ignored me. And now you're trying to steal my first love too. Max, standing nearby, blinked in surprise. Wait, she liked me? I don't even remember talking to her. She and her idiot boyfriend deserve each other. Meanwhile, Chu Ting kept yelling, her jealousy boiling over. You should be ashamed, flirting with someone else's boyfriend right in front of him. And Max, everyone says you're so strong, but you can't even control your girl? Max finally lost his patience. His tone turned cold. First of all, you should take a good look in the mirror, before calling anyone else out. And second, your mouth's filthier than the trash around here. If you don't stop running it about me and Zia, I won't hesitate to shut it for you, even if you are a girl. Chu Ting gasped. Did you just threaten me? She turned toward Qin. Qin, he's threatening your girlfriend and you're just standing there? If you're really a man, fight him. If you win, I'll accept your confession. Qin's anger flared, but deep down, he smirked. So if I fight Max and win, she'll be mine? Fine. Zia's out of reach anyway. Might as well take Chu Ting instead. He turned to his friends. Let's teach this guy a lesson. Go, Zia whispered nervously. Max, these guys don't look too bright, so please, go easy on them. Max chuckled. Trust me, if I actually hit them hard, they'll wet themselves before they hit the ground. Seconds later, he proved his point, one punch each, and all of Qin's friends were on the floor groaning in pain. Qin staggered back, stunned. This guy is a monster. Just then, a familiar voice shouted, Stop right there. It was Liang, striding toward them. Max frowned. Why is he here? Qin, on the verge of tears, yelled, Brother Liang, thank God you're here. This guy's dangerous. Please help me. A small crowd started gathering as Shinli and Qian arrived, curious about the commotion. Shinli recognized Liang immediately. Hey, that's Liang, isn't it? Who's he planning to fight this time? Qian smirked. Don't worry, I dumped him ages ago. He's nothing compared to Max, remember? Max beat his whole gang like stray dogs. Shinli nodded. You know, that King guy used to be one of Liang's old customers. I've heard he's actually the top fighter at Noble Academy. If the two of them team up, Max is in real trouble. I bet he's about to get destroyed. The crowd buzzed with anticipation as Max and Liang faced each other, tension thick in the air. Shinli grinned. When two fighters like this go head to head, it's always a spectacle. This is gonna be fun to watch. Qin smirked. Alright, Liang, show him what you've got. But to everyone's shock, Liang suddenly turned and punched Qin square in the face. The entire crowd gasped. Qin stumbled backward, holding his cheek. Brother Liang, what are you doing? You hit the wrong person. You were supposed to attack him, not me. Liang cracked his knuckles. Oh no, I hit exactly the right person. He glared at Qin. Did you really think I'd ever lift a hand against my boss? Everyone, Qian, Shinli, and the crowd, fell silent. Boss? They repeated in shock. Liang smirked, standing beside Max. That's right. Max is my boss. What happens next will be revealed in the next episode. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.